Ladies and gentlemen.
Yo,
Hey, Big Rob. What's up, Big Rob?
Big Baby.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Not much, man. How are you?
No complaints, man. No complaints. That stash is stashing over there.
Yeah, man, I'm working
What's
on
that?
it, at least for now. I
Yeah.
got
Uh-huh.
I bought some Crocs today, actually.
Oh, which ones you got? What color?
They're gray.
Okay. Yeah, because you want to keep it a little neutral, so you don't have to buy, 15 pairs, right?
Exactly.
Most of mine are like either like bold colors or crazy colors. So I literally ended up buying like 12 pairs.
Well,
Just
you
to
got
make
one for
sure.
every day of the week, one for every outfit.
Exactly. So
That's good.
I'm kind of like over the Jordans just because like the Crocs are so comfortable that it's hard to go back to wearing, Jordans, in the
Yeah.
gym. So, but the evolution of the footwear.
The Jordans are kind of out now with the fitness people, right? Because everybody wants a comfortable shoe that's good for lifting. Nikes and Jordans, they look cool, but they're not necessarily performance wear, right?
Yeah.
So,
It's crazy how fast things change. I remember like maybe I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, everybody was wearing Jordans. Everybody building every workout had Jordans on,
yep.
and now you see like New Balance and Crocs and I don't know, just random like comfortable sneakers. You know,
Everybody's feet, they're flat nowadays, right? Everybody's they got
yeah.
weird ass feet, like, especially with us. Like, our feet are so flat and wide that,
Mhm.
like, if I put on Nikes, man, they're not comfortable at all. So I don't even bother. They'll just hurt my feet.
Yeah, fine
Exactly.
feet. I could sell those puppies. I don't.
What's up,
I
Stu?
could if I wanted.
No, like some sneaker, like I used to get really, really heavy off season, and my feet would get so like I don't know what to call it, fat, big. I don't know, it would just get so huge that like if I were trying to wear like Jordans, I would have to get like two sizes up. You know,
Bro, because you're from the GH, your feet get bigger, first of all,
they do,
more
they
swollen,
do.
whatever. But also, you
Mhm.
get heavier and bigger, your actual arch flattens out.
Collapses. It
Yeah,
does.
man. So, so your foot just gets big and splayed out, which is a good thing for us, right? Because we need that to lift the weights we do, and it's just an adaptation, but kind of fucks us up in terms of shoes, right? Like, my shoe size gone up a whole shoe
Yeah,
size, maybe 5 years, which is weird as an adult, right? But
Are
bro.
we
My
talking about Vito's feet?
no,
Is that how we got
no,
onto this?
not Vito in particular, but Vito does got some wild feet.
Yeah, he does.
why? How do you guys know that? Why?
There
They
was
zoomed
Put
one.
out feet pics
Yeah,
or something?
one of the pictures he put up just a day or two ago, like everybody was commenting about his gangly ass fucking hook, big toe. It's like it's huge. It looks
Mhm.
like a claw, man. Go pull
You
that
know
shit
what?
up, baby.
You
Yeah,
know what? I
which
think, dude, that's actually a weird topic. I think that's another adaptation because his fucking his big toe is doing so much work when he's training his legs. I believe because I've seen that before.
There he is.
Yeah.
but then somebody zoom in. Holy shit, yeah. And it's like cricket a little bit.
You don't even have to, man. Those things are
Yeah. So it's because
funky
it's the
looking.
way his foot is, he's externally rotating, but his feet are still like pretty much parallel, right? So that's that
Mhm.
pushing out on the bones. Take a look at my buddy Big Mo, Morgan McDonald. He's
Uh-huh.
got massive legs. He's a tall guy. Same thing. His feet are like that. And Ben Pekulski's were like that too. Fucking always bring him up, but I don't know, man. It's something about when you're pushing out and externally rotating those feet, the femurs and
Yeah,
shit. It does something. I don't know.
it does. Well, my big toe in particular is huge. Like I've seen other people's big toes, and it's like kind of the same height as the other toe, like the toe next to it. But like my big toe is legit like 10 times the size of all my other toes. It's kind of weird.
My
Kind
foot
of
just looks
weird.
like a club.
When I started GH at like Or regularly, not just like random spurts, but regularly, consistently. I want to say 24 or 25, maybe. And since then, I was a 10 and a half at 25, and now I'm a size 13. So that's
God damn, that's some serious foot gains, bro.
that's some serious foot gains. You
Oh
know,
boy.
if only the rest of if my legs grew that fast, I'll be in a great position. You know,
You gotta put that foot growth protocol like up on a forum somewhere, you know. It's like because guys are like insecure about their feet size too, you know. It's guys are insecure about everything. I mean, whatever.
Who cares? Like
Exactly.
what? Is it unmanly to have like small feet, like dainty feet?
Yeah.
It depends how dainty. Yeah, it depends how dainty. Like,
If you're
sometimes,
size 6, like that's pretty gay. You're right.
Yeah.
Probably take it in the ass if you got little feet. You know?
like low key, I've seen a couple of guys' feet, and it's almost too nice. It's one thing to be pedicured. I think pedicures are great. I think every guy should get a pedicure. But I've seen guys' feet, and I'm like, if your feet shouldn't look cute, it shouldn't be that cute. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe seen guys' feet and it's like, damn.
That's what
I was gonna say if you're thinking the feet are cute. I've never seen a guy's foot and thought it looked cute, but I don't know, man.
I know Nick gets his feet done, so you should hit him up, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Nick got some nice feet. I'm not saying I'm looking. I ain't looking, but
Nick have looked at least once.
Nick got some nice feet. I ain't gonna lie, man. So Zay,
what's going on, guys? How you doing?
no complaints,
Bro.
man. You got nice feet, Zay?
Jumped into a weird conversation here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh? I do, yeah. Actually,
Can we see? Can we get a peek? How nice we talking? Like a 8.5, 9?
That's actually, I have a funny story for that. One foot is really nice looking. The other foot is really good looking, but my big toe is fucked up because I have when I was 8 years old, bro, when I was a little kid, I went to this old mosque in Syria, you know.
Mhm.
My dad took me and it was a horrible day. Anyways, it's one of those elevators, it doesn't have a door. So when it goes up, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So I stuck my foot between the fucking floor and the concrete. So
Damn.
my foot got stuck in the elevator, bro, and it was one of the scariest moments. And they had to stop the elevator and wheel it down manually. So my big toe got fucked since then
holy shit!
Damn.
because
yeah.
of that. So I have one crooked toenail. That's it. But the other foot looks
Damn.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
He almost got
It-
smashed by an elevator. That was
That's not
fucking
good.
scary.
That's why you got big legs, man.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. If I had to if I have to make one suggestion, elevators should definitely have doors. You know, for
Yeah,
sure.
what kind of rickety ass country doesn't have doors on their elevators, bro? What the? Aren't you glad you live here now?
Oh, bro. Every day I
Free.
thank God for
He
that.
loved-
Yeah.
You see,
You think Jesus, right? Not whatever
All
God
of
you
them.
used to.
I'm so grateful. I thank all of
You
them.
got to pick
all
one,
of
bro. You got to pick one. All of them. Get out of
Jay
here, man.
Cutler.
Take one.
Yeah, there you go.
Jay Cutler,
That's
number
the
one.
best one, Jay.
yo, isn't it funny that people who come here from other countries appreciate our country more than people who live here?
It's a good point.
It's kind of fucked up, but what it is when you got it too good, you always got to complain. You always
Bro,
gotta
that
complain.
is so fucking true up here where I live. Like,
Mhm.
I live in like NIMBY liberal land
Mhm.
where like, nothing bad really happens where I live, right? There's very little crime. There's very little anything bad, right? But these are the kind of folks that put like the fucking signs in their front yards for whatever current cause is popular,
Mhm.
but they're not exposed to the real world. They make so much money, they're so well off that they just don't get it, and they
Yeah.
bitch and moan about America while they live in the best place in the world. It's like, man, you're so
Well,
disconnected.
that's what causes that, because when life is too good, you start to look for trouble almost, right? We want to look for something wrong to complain about. But when
Yeah.
life is a mess, and shit is horrible, you don't you don't look for shit to complain about. You kind of look for the good. You know what I'm saying? So. I mean, Stu. I feel like Stu. I mean, you're all American, but you definitely appreciate. I don't hear you complain much. I mean, you do complain,
I like
but
to.
not.
I bitch about taxes like a real American. You know, taking away my rights. And
Gotta complain about something, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
A little bit here and
that's
there.
your civic duty here in America. Like that's what this country was founded on.
It's funny though. Like I remember when I went down to Florida and I was there for like a month or whatever, and I heard people complaining about how hot it was. I'm like, really? I found that surprising because nobody complains about when it's hot up here. When it's hot, everybody's like, I can't believe it's hot. It's so amazing today.
Yeah, but when it's like 3 months of 100 degrees and 90% humidity, I could understand.
I know. Yeah. I'm just saying, it's one of those
bad.
Things. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, of course, to some extent, politics is going to concern all of us or affect all of us in some way. But for the most part, I feel like we just kind of do our thing more than anything. Like, regardless of who's where, yes, some things will change for the better or for the worse. But honestly, when you're kind of in your own bubble, I don't watch news. I don't stay up to date on current shit. Honestly, I'm too busy, bro. I'm too busy to give a fuck.
It just pisses you off too, man.
Yeah.
Like I was actually the maintenance guy at my apartment here. He's an older gentleman. He's a nice guy, but like he came into something's fucked up in her sink, came in to fix her sink, right? He started rattling off about all these fucking he just like textbook Trumpy conspiracy shit. And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. I just told him like dude, I don't watch the news anymore. And he was like, oh, you got to watch Newsmax and Breitbart, and that's where they tell you the truth. And I'm like, man, you're so far off the deep end. Please just stop talking to me.
So what are you doing about it, right? Like, what are you doing about it, really?
That's
just
what I asked him. Like, dude, what can you do? Like, the guy's in his 60s. He's almost 70. Like, he's about to retire. And like, dude, why you stretch yourself out like this? Like,
yeah.
If shit hits the fan, you're fucked, man. Sorry. Like, just enjoy your life. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know how deep down this rabbit hole we can go, but
no, that wasn't what I wanted to do.
No.
My point is,
you good.
Just don't focus on shit you can control. You know, which is pretty small at the end of the day.
I was at the gym, and one of the guys at the gym was like, "Man, Drake got to come out and talk about Israel, man. Drake got to do it. It's his duty." And I'm like, and then is he gonna do something? If he gonna actually do something? No. So if he says something, it makes no difference. He's just like regardless if he's a celebrity, he's just like anybody else posting on social media. We're not doing shit. Like, we're not helping it anyway. Like, we all know what's going on. It's been going on for a very long time. And like, posting about it to make yourself feel like you did something doesn't actually do anything, with all due respect. You know what I'm saying? That's not my wheelhouse, but
it fucking annoys the shit out of me. Like, it tells me that I don't want to be your friend. I don't care what side it is. Just like, I don't want to hear it, man. Don't put that shit in my feed. I don't watch the news for a reason.
Yeah. And then we have to be honest. Like, it's also the same reason why does The Rock not talk about steroids, right? He's a Hollywood actor. Like, he can't. Like, it wouldn't make sense. So same thing. You have Drake or you have DJ Khaled, right? They have a lot of fans from both sides. It's easy for you to say, because you have no money, with all due respect, you have no money, no businesses. It's easy for you to say, yeah, go piss off half of the people that fuck with you and just completely throw your 20 years of hard work in the garbage. It's easy to say that when you don't have anything to lose.
For nothing, really.
Yeah, for nothing, because it's not going to change anything. All that's going to happen is you're going to completely destroy your business, completely destroy your name on one side or the other. And then now your family has to deal with the consequences of you trying to be righteous.
Yeah, so it's like what do people say? You know, if you want outside you got to change what's going on within you first. It's like what you guys are saying, just focus on yourself, because focusing on what's going on in the politics, what's going on in other people's lives, you know, of course, we have to be sympathetic and stuff like that, which we try to be, but, you know, there's only so much of that we can handle too, because it's a big emotional burden to handle everybody else's emotional burden too. You know, it's like, you know, you take care of your family, you take care of your friends, like, you know, try to do more podcasts and hang out with people and talk about real shit. Like that's actually like real life living versus watching TV versus like, you know, I used to work in this gym and the guy that was kind of crazy, it was a studio gym and he would always have the news on just like that. But he was the one that started pointing out to me, he would always be like, hey, look at what they're putting on. It's about, you know, a pope, you know, doing some like horrible things to children, stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, dude, like, I didn't really realize that, but that's just on all the time, like Channel 3 or whatever you guys have. It's just the news that always just plays something and it's just horrible stuff 24/7. I never realized that, but then when you think about it, it's like they're just putting that out there, and then that's how we're framing things. That's our perspective. But when we zoom out a little bit, like you're saying, it's like, well, we live actually beautiful lives, you know, very beautiful lives. And the more you think about that, well, you start to feel a little bit better. And when you feel a bit better, you can help other people feel a little bit better by giving back energy instead of being so worried and fearful all the time.
So much more of a wholesome way to put it. I really just don't care. Yeah. I just don't give a shit about some shithole country halfway across the world.
You sound really American, Stu.
Yeah, I couldn't give a shit.
I agree with him, bro.
He's being honest. He's being honest, though. Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, but even if you did,
he gave us the Canadian take. This is the American take.
Well, I'm a guest here as well, you know. So.
Well, okay, here's the thing, Stu. Even if you did, you're not gonna do shit about it because you can't. You know, now if you could do something about it, then you can go ahead and try. But the truth is that same when the Ukraine thing was happening, hey, you know, you got to send soldiers. You're a healthy adult. How about you go? You could be a soldier. If you go to Ukraine, they'll give you a weapon. Go ahead, go fly.
I'm not a healthy adult, bro. I wouldn't last long. I need a lot of food, and I don't have very good cardio.
No, it's not going to go well.
I shit 8 times a day. It doesn't work.
It's not going to work. But what these people are saying is, no, send other people's kids to go fight, but not me and my kids. And it's like, so you don't really care. So stop acting like you care then, right? You don't care enough to, you know, so it's like, I don't know. And I also don't think it's anybody's civic duty to speak on anything. I think we can speak on anything we feel like, and we don't have to speak on anything. Sometimes a lot of people don't even have any of the facts, but they speak on it anyway. If I don't know about something, I'm gonna say, listen, I don't know about this shit. So I'm not about to have opinions on some shit I don't understand.
What's the worst is when like you say you know plead ignorance like that, like I don't really know much about that, and then whoever's trying to pull some opinion out of you is like, well, let me tell you about it. Oh boy,
I'm good.
Like, that's exactly what this fucking dude who was fixing my sink started doing. I was like, Jesus, bro, shut up! Oh my god, stop. I think us as like a group, like, because bodybuilding is hard, right? It's an artificial hard that we impose on ourselves, but it's hard, you know. So we're like busy getting our meals and training, like suffering through a diet, whatever, right? So we generally we have pretty good lives, but we have this thing that we're working towards, and rather than some political silliness that we're focusing on and can't actually control, like we're focused on something like that's in our own lives and like we can actually improve and work on and fix and you know make a difference with, which is the way we look, right? So I think that's a good, everyone needs something like that, you know, to something difficult, whether it's imposed on yourself or whether you impose it on yourself or imposed on you by some circumstance. Like you need to do hard shit, right? Boom. So this happens to be our hard shit that we do. Podcasting is not hard shit, but you know, 3 weeks out is hard.
Like you said, even though it's self-imposed, it still ends up, you know, doing the same thing to you. Because they're the reason why when it comes to bodybuilding, we all kind of like see eye to eye, right? How often do you speak to a bodybuilder, go to the gym, and you have completely different views? Usually it's pretty because we all work hard, you know, whatever that means. Even though it's self-imposed, there is like some goal and some hard work. So I noticed that we don't care about a lot of shit. I live in West Hollywood. There's a lot of gay bodybuilders here. We get along fine because they're still bodybuilders, so they understand the hard work, and we still have the same viewpoints, right? Black bodybuilders, white bodybuilders, Brazilian, Latino, we all get along and have very similar point of views just because we work hard. People who work hard tend to understand each other, right? And people who are lazy and complain seem to understand each other. So that's usually how things.
I don't know if we have the same views on all the men though. The men's wellness is a little bit of a different view, but we won't go there. Leave that out of it. But I know what you're saying though.
We have
Just don't
different.
bring up wellness this week. I
Yeah,
don't want
we
to talk
gotta
about
leave it.
wellness anymore.
Well,
They just added some more prize money, so that's kind of cool, I guess.
oh, that's true. Yeah, get some. Well, to rephrase that, we don't have the same viewpoints, but similar. We agree on a lot of things. I mean, we still disagree on some things, I'm sure. But
It's like the
we don't
fitness
need.
religion, it's like the gym is the church kind of religion. Like we have our own. I wouldn't call it religion because that's like a whole nother thing, but like it's a subculture where we really believe that this is like the most important thing for us. Whereas someone else, they might think like planting, seeds in their garden might be the most important thing for them. Or if they have a family, then that's the most important thing for them. But for right now, this is like, that's why we can stay in this bubble and be like happy about it, right? But I think it is a good thing because it really does protect us from a lot of that bullshit. Because we're not affected by it because we just put up that bubble. That's a perfect way to put it is we put that fucking bubble and all the bullshit just bounces off because we just don't have time, energy, or any reason to absorb it.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I'm also at a point that I don't like to try to change people's minds. Whatever you believe, I don't even care to have a discussion about it unless you can have like a some kind of intellectual conversation or debate. That's why me and Ken debate because I respect Ken's intellect. He's a smart person. He can actually have an intellectual, debate. And a lot of times I'll listen back to some of these debates and I'll be like, sometimes we're saying the same thing. We're just talking in circles. But a lot of times, like we do agree on a lot of things. We just talk in circles sometimes. And I gotta catch it. But we're kind of saying the same things in some ways. But so.
Debates get emotional, right? Because everybody just wants to like have their opinion validated, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yeah, there's a difference between a conversation and an argument. If you're both working towards a mutual understanding, it's a conversation. If it's an argument, you just want to win, which is unproductive.
Yeah,
it
can be fun, if you can go fucking dunk on people. That's fun with it, but like it's not productive.
Yeah.
I don't like to argue. I love to debate, but I don't like to argue. Like even dating wise, I'm not gonna argue with you. We could debate. Yeah, the fuck, like I don't got time for that. Just when it's all
play this game with one person, so I'm just gonna leave.
when it becomes all emotion and when you like, because sometimes you can know you're wrong, but you're just yelling and screaming and arguing just for the sake of it. I can't do that. I'm not doing that shit. So at that point,
you've already gone up. You've already gone over the edge. So now you just have to keep it going.
Exactly. You can't reel it back. So now you're yelling and it becomes all emotion. And when it's all emotion, you can't have an actual conversation when it's just fired by a bunch of emotions and pent up resentment and shit. So you got to just leave that shit alone.
Yeah, man. Communication is hard. That's one thing that I realized. Fucking English, like we all speak English, but it's not always the same in other people's ears. You can say one thing and they might translate that completely differently. And that makes a huge difference, especially in relationships. We talked about that before, but even like with friends, you can lose friends, like just from simple lack of communication or misunderstandings, So,
yeah.
But
all right.
Anyway,
that's enough of that rabbit hole.
That deep stuff.
I gotta say though, I lost a lot of friends from the Arab world because I didn't post anything about Israel or Palestine. They kept messaging me, "How come you're only posting bodybuilding stuff? How come you don't address it?" I'm like, dude, I'm not a politician. Why do you think my voice is gonna do anything? Get the fuck off my page.
Yeah, I'm not a politician.
You know what? Like, honestly, I think it's different vibrations, different lifestyles, different goals, different values, because I've lost friends that I was really close to, best friends. And, people like Stu, I was talking about partying a little bit. Like, I used to party with people that were like my best friends. And they're like, "Hey man, you don't want to party anymore?" It's like, I'm bodybuilding, I'm prepping and stuff like that, right? I'm a pro now, kind of a thing. They're like, "Oh, you're a pro now. Okay, well, we're not going to invite you anymore because we know you're not going to come out." It's like, even if I didn't come out, it's still nice to be invited so that you know it's like we're still boys. You know, I understand you're doing your thing. Whatever, you come out with us once a year, cool. You don't have to come out every weekend, but it's like sometimes it's all or nothing, or some people just don't have that same level of understanding, I guess.
Yeah.
The way I figured out how do you know your real friends, bro? You can go out with them drinking every now and again, that won't hurt you, but the people that show up to your shows are your real friends because they probably don't really understand it, but they just show up to support you anyways. You know, the people who come to your shows are probably going to be one of the best friends you're going to have, you know.
Yeah, the people that support you leading up to your shows too, man, especially, you know, because that's when you're like your worst. The people that pick you up when you're like being a dick and stuff, like help you that way. Those are your real people, man, for sure. Your real circle.
I don't like having fake friends. I'd rather have no friends. You know what I'm saying? If you can't, the way I look at it, I should be able to go 4 months without texting Zayd, and he'll take no offense. And whenever we want to talk, we just hit each other up, and it's like there was no time lost, right? You know what I'm saying? Like those to me, that's a real friendship. And we could talk every day, or we could talk no days, but the relationship doesn't change. You know, it's like my brother. I might not talk to my brother in a year, and I could pick up and call him, and there's nothing that's personal. It's just, oh, what's up? You know, motherfuckers get busy. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it should be that tight that it should be airtight that nothing should be able to stop that. You know, there's family members and best friends who stop talking to each other because one voted for somebody else that they didn't vote for.
Man, I hate when there's like weird energy, you know, it's like, even if you have like a falling out with someone, it's cool, man. Like I'm still going to be like cool with you in real life. I hate when people, they just totally avoid you. They won't even look you in the eye anymore. It's like, that kind of sucks. You know, it's like, even if you don't respect the person enough to even say hi, you can still look at them, you know?
Bro, a good friend of mine lost his best friend because he posted something about Trump, and his best friend stopped being his best friend. I said, I got news for you, bro. That was not your best friend. That man was not your best friend. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what, like, that's like you liking vanilla ice cream and I like chocolate ice cream. I'm like, oh, I can't be your friend. It's like, I don't give a shit. Like, what, you're a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying?
Do love vanilla ice cream. It's good shit. You can do anything with that, you know?
That's true. You could put it on some ass. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Stu is disengaging.
I got distracted by Discord. Fuck.
Oh yeah.
I got my screen action going here.
I don't know how to use that shit. You guys invited me. I don't know how to use Discord.
You're not missing much. Well, you kind of are, but I think you're a little too grown up for the banter that we do in there. I mean,
is it like a forum kind of stuff?
It's like a chat, multiple chat rooms. So like there's multiple channels where you discuss different topics and shit. But yeah, we have a good time.
What do you guys talk about, bro?
Just dumb shit, like really dumb shit. Sometimes bodybuilding stuff. Like we got logs in there where like, you know, I'm like documenting my prep and everything I'm doing in there, which is kind of cool. And then there's, you know, we talk about like food and supplements and drugs. And then there's just the miscellaneous section where honestly the most messaging happens. And sometimes we get a little retarded in there, which is pretty fun. But yeah, you know, it's an acquired taste. Definitely have to be like an internet type of person to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, occasional tasteful racism. You know, it's a good time.
A little sprinkle though.
Just a little bit.
Okay. I noticed I think in the last video I mentioned something about Phil Heath being better than Kevin, right? And I was like, I think I was like the old school bodybuilder, they're always gonna say, you know, everybody from the 90s beats everybody, whatever. And I saw in the comments, you know, there's people who really believe that Kevin would beat Phil. And I think it's just nostalgia, if I'm being honest. I don't think there's one pose that Kevin can beat Phil on, if I'm being completely honest. With all due respect, I love Kevin Levrone. I watch his video more than anybody else, but I couldn't give you one pose that Phil isn't bigger, harder, rounder, more conditioned, and just better. And that's just being
Maybe
honest.
abs and thighs. Maybe.
Well, the best Phil, because we're going by the best Kevin. We're not going by 2002 Kevin, because people they'll say, well, but look at Phil's stomach, but it's like,
Mm.
yeah, but we're looking at the best Kevin, so we gotta get the best Phil. The best Phil.
But Kevin was a better amateur than Phil. If you
Yeah.
compare when he turned pro at the USA at 05 versus the other guy when he won nationals,
By far.
Kevin at nationals would beat Phil at USA's.
By far, yeah, by far,
Yeah.
he was ahead earlier for sure, but prime physiques, man. I don't even think most '90s guys would argue that, because I've heard Dennis James and Jay and all those guys say that Phil is probably the second best Olympia ever. So if you would say that, I don't think you would. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you would say Kevin was better than him in any way.
Seems like a weird argument, man. I don't know.
It really depends on the '90s guy we're talking about, because there are some serious old hats there who are just like, we were the best, no one touches us, etc. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
And they're usually the ones that are like shitting on all the guys competing nowadays. We think they're just way better. We don't work hard.
Somebody said that. Somebody said, yeah, but the '90s lineups were so stacked, nobody would play. So I said, name me the lineup. He said, yeah, Dorian, Kevin, Flex, Ronnie, and I'm like, keep going. And then after like 7, he couldn't remember anybody. And I'm like, it's like it did trail off as well. And listen, just because they're legends now, 40 years later, doesn't mean they were shredded and peaked every show. Because a lot of guys he was naming, I'm like, yeah, have you ever seen shredded glutes on that man? And they're like, yeah, kind of. I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you did not. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to say it in high, but 20 years from now, people will be saying the same shit probably, like, oh, you guys can never touch fucking, Nick Walker and and Hani Chupan.
You know why too? Because I think probably because those back then, like if you're like 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever, like there's nobody taking pictures of you, so you had no media content for you at all. Pretty much, like how would you get content? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they also, in hindsight is always better, right? Because I think a couple of Olympias ago, everybody was like, this is stacked, and they were like, yeah, but you only have one Mr. Olympia, and I'm like, yeah, because 20 years later, when Derek is a 5-time Olympia and Nick is a 2-time, then it's gonna sound better, right? Because it's 20 years later. So Ronnie wasn't 8-time Mr. Olympia in '98. He was just Ronnie Coleman. So at that time, it wasn't like, whoa, look at this lineup. It was just like, these are the guys, and that's it. But when you time travel 20 years, and then these guys are all like legends and multiple time champions, then it sounds different. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't compare generations, Or Shaq would destroy.
There's still those levels, right? It's like if you're a third call out guy in the '90s, you're still a third call out guy. You're just a third call out guy. You know what I mean? Like I don't think you're better than the guys now or worse than. It's just different levels of bodybuilding. Still same thing. I would never compare a non-Mr. Olympia to a Mr. Olympia. That seems like a weird comparison to me. It just doesn't even like that seems like a little bit disrespectful. Like no disrespect either way. But if I was the Mr. Olympia, being like, of course, dude, I would always win, right? I'm the Mr. Olympia. And then if you win multiple Mr. Olympias, you're just more and more of a higher level. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
just crazy.
The only untouchable guy from the '90s is Ronnie Coleman. No one would ever touch that. But other than him, all the other physiques are beatable today. I feel like.
I got to be honest. I think everybody's beatable at some point because
like fuck. Imagine the coolest fucking call out ever is every like ultra Mr. Olympia. Get like Jay, Ronnie. Like the top 5, like 5 of the top 5, like of the best. Right.
I would have loved to see Big Ramy against Ronnie Coleman. That would have been
cool.
Very cool.
But Ronnie would just win everything. That's the only thing, And Ronnie just beats everybody every time. So that's why this argument just ends up being Ronnie is the best.
And he's humble about it too.
When it comes to the time travel, one of my issues is when people get nostalgic, they can't pinpoint a certain look. They start mixing looks together and it becomes this superhuman, because I always say, like, when people say 03 Ronnie, I'm like, that condition doesn't work today. And that ab control doesn't work today. '98 Ronnie actually does work today, I believe.
His condition was crazy, dude, in
I
03. But his
don't agree.
abdominal control was. What do you mean you disagree? You see his
I
back
don't agree with
shots,
that.
bro?
Yeah, but
His
shredded glutes
and
is one.
hams, glutes and hams,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. But
that's
some of
only
the other
glutes and hams.
spots, yeah.
Yeah, because you have to look at quad separation, ab separation, chest striations. It's all in one. Same way when Derek comes fucking shredded from the back, we still look at it from like, well, so just because he's Ronnie, we can't act like all those things were perfect because they weren't. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't have abdominal control. Yeah, that's true.
I'm just being completely unbiased. I'm using no kind of favoritism. And when you start breaking it down, people combine 98 with 2003, but that never happened in real life. So people are imagining Ronnie 98 shredded, but 2003 size, Both of those looks are incredible and arguably the best of all time, but it never happened on one day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I think that's the issue because we start thinking about Ronnie Coleman and we put together some AI simulated version that never stepped on stage. That version would be Phil Heath, but if you take them separately, 2003 Ronnie, I don't think would work in today's judging against 2011 Phil Heath. I think 98 would actually have a better chance now, because the completeness, the aesthetics, the stomach control, the separation, the conditioning, all that. So, but then you can also say, well, he wasn't as dense as Phil back then, so it starts to, it gets dangerous when we have this idea in our head that people are just unbeatable. And it's true that we're all human beings. Everybody's beatable. Everybody has been beaten. Everybody can be beaten.
Takes a bad peak bad in here. That's it.
And everybody has weaknesses. Everybody. Ivani had weaknesses too. Phil Heath has maybe Phil Heath. I don't know if he got weakness, but everybody.
2011, he doesn't. I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think that
people
was the
say
most
that he won that show before he posed.
He did. I thought that was the most complete bodybuilder of all time. I would argue the best look of anybody of all
for sure,
time,
especially for finals, man. He was spot on.
His only weakness is clavicle width. That's the one thing they say, right? It's like, oh, if he was wider, if he was taller,
yeah.
If just like,
but his delts
it'd be cool
make
to
up for that.
imagine. Yeah, it'd be cool to imagine that.
It'd be cool. In 2011, though, I didn't even notice that, man. I didn't even notice it.
You stretch out Phil Heath a little bit, and you got a Ronnie Jr.
Yeah.
What's up, David?
You got a Quinton.
Yo, just been watching Duna. I've got some shit spray for my throat.
Oh, you good?
You're sick too, huh?
What is that?
Nah, just some throat problems. Nothing. By the way, if you haven't watched Duna, do so. It's fucking brilliant.
The second one? You watched
the second one? Yeah.
Oh, I gotta watch
Dune.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dune.
Dune. Yeah, the Dune.
Yeah. Gotta watch it. All right, I'm gonna check it out. But
it's
great. The books are good. The books get really fucking
even better.
Weird.
Yeah. David, who's better, Kevin or Phil? Kevin Levrone or Phil Heath?
Phil.
Yeah, pretty.
No hesitation.
I think anybody who understands bodybuilding would know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like bringing back the legends. We of course love Levrone and all of the stories, but since Phil left, everyone's been saying that he's like top 2 bodybuilders ever.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
You just said that, yeah.
But while you're competing, even Ronnie, while Ronnie was competing, a lot of people talk shit about his stomach and this and that. Is really when you retire that you become like a legend. Like while you're doing it, everybody just wants to see you lose. Everybody wants to see Jay beat Ronnie. As soon as Jay wins, everybody wants to see Phil beat Jay. You know what I'm saying? It never stops, bro. It never stops.
I want to see it keep it. Yeah, I want to see it moving, right?
Yeah, you want to see it moving. I got to be honest, but I kind of feel like that now too. Like I want to see it move around. Like I wanted to see Derek beat Hottie. Now that Derek won, I'm like, who else? I want to see somebody else win now. I want to see, keeps it fun. Yeah, I do want to see Nick win. I feel like it would mean the most for Nick because low key, I think Nick is nonchalant about it, but I think he's the most passionate about bodybuilding. I think him and Hottie. I think Hottie is pretty fucking passionate too.
Can we even judge the passion like in the percentage? We can't really judge the passion like in the percentage because it's like, training hard. It's the same discussion.
Yeah,
But you can have an idea. You can honestly have a pretty good idea of how passionate Nick is,
I think
because
so.
he talks about how he's always believed, even from the beginning, that he will be Mr. Olympia. That's pretty impressive from the beginning and never waver from that. Most people, you know what I mean?
Do you believe it
Yeah.
though?
I mean, we're gonna
With-
see,
with
right? Because if
him,
he does
yes,
it, then
I believe. He's
Wait,
always believed that.
Wait, do we believe that he believed it, or do we believe that he's gonna win?
Do you believe that he believed when he was a light heavyweight, placing sixth at national, that he was gonna be in his head Mr. Olympia?
Of
But
course,
that's-
of course he did.
that's the thing.
Was
right?
it delusion?
You have to.
It was delusion, but he believed it. He believed
Yeah.
every step of the way. The first time I had him on this podcast, he wasn't a pro, and if you go back and watch it, he had no qualms that he was gonna do exactly what the fuck he said he was gonna do. He didn't waver 1 second, bro. It's just like it's gonna start as delusion, because if you don't do the proper steps, it's not gonna happen. But that means you have to be confident that you're gonna execute perfectly, And
And he did.
Yeah, But even if you do execute perfectly, it still might not happen. But I think if you don't believe it, I think for sure it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I think
it's the belief that keeps you executing perfectly, whether or not it actually happens or not. That's what keeps you doing what it takes, basically, right? It's the belief. It's like, I am that person, so I just do what it takes. I think that's pretty cool.
But was it delusional in his eyes or in our eyes? Because in his eyes, I bet he wasn't like, yeah, I'm maybe going to be. I'm 100% sure that he was waking up every day and saying,
Yeah.
I am going to be a Mr. Olympia. He believed it wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
probably
they-
it's only delusion to everybody else. But I guess if you actually do it, I don't know if you could call it delusion. Right? At that point, then it's just what it is.
And that's what they say. It's like they say, the positive delusion, the optimist who's delusional is probably a better way to be, because the person who's, in theory, who's more negative, but so intellectual, they have to point out all the negative things. Like, that person's not living a better life at all. Is that really a smarter way to be? It's like, I don't know, man, because win or lose, it's like, well, you believed it, you did that. It's like, that's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, a better feeling to live your life feeling like I'm Mr. Olympia than to feel like I'm not. Because that's just like, what's the point then? Fuck it, kind of a thing, right?
But we already had this conversation that stupid people live happier.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the fact. They're like, I have like $10 left and it's still like 10 days till my payday. And they're like, I don't give a fuck.
They're fine.
I'm going to live it through.
You know when somebody has like Alzheimer's and everybody's crying, oh my God, so sad. And it's like, you're crying, but they're not crying because they don't know what day it is. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They're having
the worst, bro.
They're having a great time. They laughing and shit. Woo. And we're here.
No,
Like,
they're not,
nah.
Imagine waking up and acting.
I wish, man.
You were old and you were just acting like you have Alzheimer, like you are sleeping, your grandkids are running somewhere and you're like, give me my fucking horse.
Yo, that would be a great way. If it was like that, that'd be amazing. It's like so horrible the way it actually is. It's like, you're just like scared all the time and stuff. It's like, yeah.
Okay. I guess I've seen it on both grandmas, right? One grandma actually had Alzheimer's and the other grandma was just, I guess, old. It's really old, I guess. I don't know. So one grandma, my dad brought her to America. She ain't never been to America. Obviously, he thinks it's a good idea because of the medical treatment or whatever. But honestly, at that point, with all due, you're gonna die. I mean, you're old. You're gonna die. So you might as well just let them die in the comforts of their home. This medical attention, bro, it's not doing shit for you. Fucking a medicine can't stop death. Death is gonna happen. Whereas my mom's grandma, my mom kept her there in her same home. She was smiling. Sometimes she didn't recognize me, but that's okay. You don't gotta recognize me. You're okay, grandma. And then she just was happy, smiling, and then she died peacefully. Other grandma, she's in America. She's looking at all this crazy shit. You got guys with lipstick on and shit. She's like, what the fuck is going on? What the hell is this? And then she freaked the fuck out. And I don't think she died as happy because, like you said, like Rob said, they're confused and shit like that. So that's gonna rely a lot on your environment and shit like that. But for the most part, if you can't remember shit, that could be a blessing. Like we're stressed because of we could remember the stress. If I can't remember the stress, I'm happy all day. You know, like Stu looks so happy right now.
That's one way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that creatine monohydrate helps prevent Alzheimer's? I've just seen a few studies like that.
Yeah,
and it's been
dude,
showing
it
that
does.
it helps prevent it. Yeah.
Wow. I
So
gotta
double
up
up,
the
boys.
Yeah,
You know
100%.
I'm
You know what
dropping
else
this
helps?
shit. I'd rather not forget. I'd rather forget.
Well, you
I'm
know
not
what
taking
else?
creatine anymore. I don't care. I don't want to remember.
Also, insulin helps that because Alzheimer's or dementia or both is called diabetes type 3 now, right? That's what it's called. They're calling it. It's like
Something
a
like
blood
that.
sugar thing.
Yeah.
And in
for
what
sure.
in what does help? In what does Tren helps?
No, not Tren. Insulin.
Yeah, I know, but in what case does Tren help?
It actually makes it worse.
Yeah, from what I heard.
Tren actually increases the production of beta amyloid plaques, which is what causes Alzheimer's and dementia in the first
Bring me the
place.
syringe, please.
Yeah,
Shit.
So
right.
some people don't want to remember, bro. Some people don't want
I
to
don't
remember.
That's actually a good point, though, man. Honestly, because I've seen people use a lot of Tren for a long time, and they were not like nearly as sharp as they were before. It's kind of weird. I thought it was maybe something else. They were doing other drugs, but yeah, I mean, like you're definitely harming your brain. That's for sure. You know. So
That's me.
When you see some bodybuilders and they speak like,
okay, well, they were dumb to begin with.
yeah, but it just made it worse. You know, it just made it worse.
I wonder about this often because, like, compared to a few years ago when I graduated college and I was actually using my brain consistently, like, I don't feel as sharp as I used to.
Nope.
I don't know if it's because I'm rusty and I'm not used to doing math problems, or if I'm just, if it's drugs or what. But
no, it's
Well, they do
like
say
it.
the brain needs to be stimulated just like any other muscle.
Sure,
to keep that I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, the
Sharpness.
neurons, the neurons, the connectivity. So you're right, man. Like you do, like you basically will get less and less sharp if you're not using those parts of your brain for certain activities. Like we're just using parts of our brain, lift weight, fucking calculate food. That's still like certain parts of your brain, but it's not like I mean, Stu, you're reading books, so that's another part of your brain. But doing math equations, another part of your brain. Writing is another part. Like so many different activities that we could be doing. Like any other sport would use like a different part of the brain, but we just do the same things over and over. We don't deviate at all. It's crazy how much like consistency we have in our day to day versus other people who would have more variety in the activities they do. Like just for example, going in like, I don't know, laser tag or something. Like imagine how many different neurons and things that your brain has to figure out in that time you're doing that versus then we just come back home and it's like, okay, TV, meal, gym, TV, meal, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like
I mean, just eating so much food, I feel a lot slower. Like when my food is peaked, I feel dumber because when I'm on high carbs, my brain I'm like, you're more tired, lethargic, you're not as sharp. Whereas when you start your prep diet, like Stu, probably you feel like in the beginning you feel way sharper.
Yeah,
you feel way sharper. Also, remember the first time you took GH, you felt kind of like lazy, tired, or insulin, lazy, tired. So doing this for years and years and years, you don't even notice that you feel so lethargic, tired, and slow because you're always slow. You're slow year round,
Yeah.
So it becomes normal. And I'm noticing that, like Stu said, bro, I'm smarter as not smarter. I'm more like, I guess, I feel like I'm wiser.
Yes.
Wiser.
Yeah, I'm wiser. Like I can handle life better. I give better advice. I'm like a better talker. I understand life better, but I'm not smarter or sharper at all. Like my brain isn't. I used to go and read up on all these supplements and drugs, and my brain would absorb it. Now I don't even read, bro. I don't read at all.
Zaid, it's like what you said, bro. It's like training in the gym. Are you gonna get a better brain by doing the same thing. No, you have to push it. Like if you did, 4 times 4 every day, like that's not going to make your, math brain any stronger. You're going to do harder and harder equations or harder and harder things. But like you said too, that's a good point because you're getting better at life, handling stressful situations and doing life and business and stuff. That's also like a part of your brain that you're developing, which is good because you have to have that, right? So, yeah.
Critical thinking and decision making is better now in my life. But just
That's
being
good.
book smart, being able to absorb information and knowledge and regurgitate it, no, I'm not as sharp. I gotta be honest.
See,
Isn't
because
it like just less things interest you, or you are having like smaller cycle of the things that you care about? That's why, because when you were a child, you were like running there, seeing things there, reading here, reading something here, and now you're like, nah, I just don't give a fuck. It's not going to help me in my life.
I feel like my brain is like a notebook, and at one point, it was only like a what do you call it? like a notebook. At one point, only one page was full, so I had all these empty pages to store all this shit on, and now the book is almost full, so I don't have enough space to fill it. Every day I wake up, I got shit to do. I got to do this, do this. How much time in a day do I have to sit there and just blankly just clear my mind? Almost zero. To the moment I doze off, I'm doing something or thinking about the next thing to do or think. So it's like the book is so full, I don't really have space to learn, like, to learn much or think about anything other than just getting my day-to-day done. I think most of us, just bodybuilding alone, if I had no job or career, bodybuilding alone takes so much brain space that you don't have that much left to give. Look at Stu. Look at Stu's brain look like it's on empty.
Man, I'm sick right now. What the fuck? Why are you laying into me today?
Stu looks like he's 4 weeks out already, man.
His face, because Stu's like this. So I'm like, damn, it looks like he's hungry. I can't tell.
Your face does look different.
Is this better, baby? You
No,
leave me alone now?
I usually see Stu having more movement and shit, but Stu's kind of like this today.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's in shape. That's why.
I don't feel very good. I really don't feel good. I don't know if it's from the Arnold and it finally caught up to me, but yesterday I started getting a cold and today it sucks. So
what's worse, the Arnold flu or the Olympia flu?
I've only sampled the USA's flu and the Arnold flu. So honestly, the USA's, I got the what. We shouldn't say it on YouTube, but like I got the vid, and by the time I got to Tampa the next weekend, like I couldn't taste shit by like Thursday. Like I couldn't taste anything. I was like forcing my food down. I was coughing and shit, like green phlegm. It was gross, really gross.
I've seen that Olympia flu take out people for like a month. You like completely fuck up their rebound off season, the whole night. Just fuck them up.
I got sick right after my shows last year, actually, too, and it kind of fucked up my rebound. I wasn't eating as much. Like I wasn't training properly for a couple of weeks there.
Yeah,
it sucked.
Did you Aaron Banks at the Olympia press conference? He had like a hood on with like a ninja mask, and then they were like, "What's going on here?" He was like, "I'm not trying to get sick this year. Fuck that." I was like, "Oh, well,
you should have tried the same thing."
Why even go then, bro?
Huh?
You should have tried the same thing on the hack squad.
Yeah, come to that.
Maybe he wouldn't be such an asshole.
Dude, why are you even going to go to an expo if you're just going to be hooded up with a fucking mask? Nobody wants to talk to you like that.
Yeah, I mean, getting sick afterwards is part of the experience. So.
Yeah, man, just sharing the community immune system. Come on. Let's go.
By the way, Kanevsky's geek was perfect. Kanevsky's geek was just beautiful.
That shit was so
I laughed so hard.
That video is the best so far, for sure.
Yeah.
Yo, so okay, I want to have him on, but
he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I also low key, I'm like we talk about the other podcast. I'm like, I want to keep it positive. I'm not saying Kanevsky not positive. I'm just saying that I feel like the subjects we're gonna cover, I feel like it might go really negative. So I'm kind of on the fence about it. What do you guys think?
I mean, you have me on here, so
yeah, just bring him on, man. Bring him on. He's cool.
That's why
Yeah.
podcasts usually take us like 3 hours, and in the end, Beatty has to cut it to 1.5.
I'm
Yeah.
honestly, Kanevsky is like, he's not a negative guy. He just
Not
puts
at all.
Just people
antagonistic
treat him
shit,
badly.
and people way overreact, and that he makes a career off of that, which is great.
Michael
You know what's
Hearn hates him.
bro? But
yeah, he
but
does.
okay, you know what's crazy though? But people say like he's fishing for the reaction. In some ways, maybe so. But
And who isn't in social media?
my thing is that when you don't give him a reaction, you know what he does? He walks away. I've seen it happen. I've actually done some pranks with him. If you're just like, okay, cool. Actually, it happened in this last video. At the ending, Fuad laughed it off, and he was like, "Fuck off," and Eric just walked away. Like he didn't start a fight. He just walked away.
There's been some times in the past. I was talking to Guy about him at the Arnold, and Guy does not like him. Guy really doesn't like him.
But in all fairness, it wasn't Eric that he didn't like. But even though it was Eric's guy, Eric fired that guy. But one guy went crazy, so that makes sense why Guy doesn't like him.
I don't know if it was Eric or some other guy who was cheering out, but he was like saying some pretty rude shit. And even if you play a character, a person like Guy is not going to receive that as a joke, even if it was a joke. And so it really just depends on the person you're dealing with.
What happened at that expo is Eric already knew that a lot of people were recognizing him, so he sent one of his associates who I never really liked myself. And first of all, he doesn't know who Guy is, but even if he did know who Guy is, it doesn't matter. And he said some shit that Eric was like, "Why the fuck did you say that? Why would you say that?" He was trying to get a reaction. He was just trying to get a reaction at all costs.
I thought that was Eric. Okay.
No. But of course, it's under Eric's umbrella. Sure. But Eric already talked to Guy like, "Yo, I'll fire the guy, whatever." It's not that kind of thing, Eric would never say anything like that. But the guy should have punched him in the face, straight up. Guy should have punched him in the face, So
what did he say to Guy?
Something about his mother. I don't know. It was quite rude.
No, that's too much.
Crossed lines.
The issue is in the past, some of Eric's associates are his fans. So when you hire your fans, they want clout so bad because they're like, "Ooh, I get to be with Eric. I want clout." So they're trying to go above and beyond to get clout, and that's actually not what Eric is trying to do. The man is literally asking you for your height and weight. Just do it or don't. Be like, I don't want to do it. And
you remember, trolling is an art form, and Eric is very good at it. But some people aren't so precise.
Exactly,
But if you watch him, that's what makes him good is the fact that he doesn't. He finds that balance between not going over that edge of what's too much.
Exactly. Yeah. I remember Sergio Oliva said, "Oh no, I'm not going to weigh myself." Eric gave him a handshake. Yo, I'm a huge fan. Walked away.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't fight him. They didn't. It's not that. It's really not that deep. I got to be honest with you. It's not that deep, and you don't have to do it. You could. You don't have to. So it's not. I saw Ian. Ian had no issue. He's like, "Oh, okay, cool." He didn't recognize him, but still. So it's like, it's really not that deep. But yeah, I think maybe we should have him, and then if it goes too left, I can always edit,
baby,
edit half the podcast.
But the best thing is that girl that takes away his plates on a leg day, bro. That is a dream.
Yeah. Yo, everybody thought that was fake. Everybody thought he hired her. You know that, right? Everybody, no, there's no way that happened. She literally walked up to him one day and she wanted to do it. She still reaches out to him every once in a while. That was not staged. She was a regular person. It's kind of weird.
Wow.
But I'm like, Eric, yo, did you hit that, bro? You hit that? He's like, no. I'm like, come on, bro. You can tell
he doesn't cross the line. You see what I'm saying? Smart man.
I wish somebody re-rocked my weights, bro. That would be
me
great.
too. Yeah, I'm gonna start inviting him. Yo, Eric's gonna pull up to work out, so just come early before he gets here. Rack the weights for me. All right.
You would Arnold, definitely hit that.
I mean, it depends on my situation. It depends, where I'm at, but but yeah, I mean, listen, you get an opportunity like that, fuck it.
That's pretty fucking cool,
That's pretty. Oh, my boy, look who's up. Oh, yeah,
Mr. Big Toe.
Mr. Big Toe. Yeah. But the Arnold UK Does it even make sense to do predictions with 6 guys? Wait, less than how many guys are in? Yeah, six.
Probably 6.
Yeah, we're 3 days out. So if Hadi isn't there now, if it's safe to say that Hadi's not going to be there.
Well,
Yeah.
he arrived once at the Olympia like 2 days before, so
Mm-hmm. It's possible. Okay. So we're probably gonna have the same exact lineup. So let me give mine, and if you guys all agree, then no need to go down the line. So no, actually, these can all be interchangeable. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, let's start with Robin, Big Rob.
I thought you were going.
No, because I was gonna go see if you guys agree, but I don't think we are gonna agree because Akeem, James, Antoine, and De La Rosa are all interchangeable.
I might almost just put it in line the way it is: Samson, John, Akeem, James, Antoine, Muhammad.
That's perfect.
Just like that.
That's literally perfect.
Yeah.
They literally put them in order. Look, Hadi. If Hadi goes, it's gonna be Hadi, Samson, John, Akeem. Perfect order. Yeah.
That's I can see that actually.
no, I think Akim is going to take down De La Rosa.
Think so?
I think he
Possible.
could.
Check Akim's last back double.
Well, he
Honestly,
could.
I would have Antoine a little higher over James and Akeem. He poses really good. His conditioning is really good. He has no missing body parts. This guy deserves to be in the mix with the top call out. I think so.
Because he got big legs, eh? That's why Zay likes him.
I think he could have been
that
higher.
too, but honestly, he has big everything now.
Yeah.
Right?
If I were the judge, I think I want to put him over James. I love James, but I think Antoine looked a lot more polished.
Exactly,
crazy enough, actually more balanced as well, which I didn't think, I would say that about Antoine, but more balanced. I think he was sharper, and I think he was more than full enough. And presentation.
With Antoine, I noticed in the prejudging when I was watching it, like he kept on like he was missing certain body parts, not like muscularity wise, like he wasn't flexing them properly. Like in some of his poses, he'd forget to flex one of his quads and he wasn't showing any detail there. And like I know that guy poses like a motherfucker, right, Robin? Like
he does.
A lot. I was surprised to see that.
I think maybe just because he's done his own posing entirely this year as opposed to previous years. He used to have someone actually helping him. We were talking about posing coaches, but he actually used to have a posing coach almost all the time. And this is the first year, from what he said, that he did everything himself. In my opinion, personally, I think he could have tweaked a couple of the poses because I think he's an incredible poser, but there's just a few, like maybe his back shots, the way he opened up on his lat spread and his abs and thigh. I think you were saying like one of his quads looks good, but the other one he doesn't flex as much. And then maybe just the way he's arranging his torso, little things. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you feel like it looks good in the mirror, then that's what you're going to present on stage versus then you get on stage and it's, oh wait, actually I could have maybe angled things differently or whatever. I don't know, but that's my opinion.
Do you ever notice that the best posers in the routines are never the best mandatory, and the best mandatory guys are never the best routine guys? Because the best mandatory guys, I would say by far, are Hadi and Nick, but their routines are not that good, Whereas the best routine guys, I would say, is Antoine and Samson. But you see the mandatories, and sometimes they're like, you're not really controlling your stomach, you're not flexing your quads as hard as you can, Like Samson, sometimes his stomach control isn't the best. And some of the poses, a lot of the poses, and then like you just said with Antoine, a couple of poses he could tweak, but the routines are by far the best ones, right?
Derek also.
Derek? Like mandatory?
Yeah, Derek's very good at mandatories,
yeah.
But the routine is like...
I think the routine is kind of... So Antoine is a big guy, right? Height-wise and everything, but muscularity-wise, he's well behind some of those shorter guys like Nick, Hadi, etc. Like, and it's hard to hit some of the more classic kind of flowing poses when you have that much muscle on you. You can kind of like muscle your way into looking good in almost anything, but is it going to look pretty? Is it going to flow well with your movement and everything? Potentially not when you're that dense, like the the top 3 at the Olympia are.
I agree. Well, like Andrew and Samson, they're the biggest guys on stage, but that's frame wise.
Yeah.
Because Samson, even muscularity wise, you could make the argument, but he can still carry more muscle on his frame. So his frame isn't as filled out as a
Right.
Nick Walker or Hottie. Even though I would probably argue he's more muscular in some ways, but it doesn't count when you're 6', 6'1", you're so stretched out that you have more, you have more room to pose,
Yeah, and
So,
people don't understand if they're not that size. Like things just get in the way of you posing certain ways when you're
yeah,
big enough. It's annoying, but shit, you just can't move in certain ways like smaller guys can.
I agree. I was talking to Joe, I think about pinning rear delts or lats or something. And I realized that Joe couldn't actually reach. He physically can't reach. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like that doesn't cross my mind, right? Because I'm a big guy, but the leverages is different. I'm 6 foot. Like the leverages, I could reach as far as I want. But Joe is like, and I'm like, huh? You don't think about that, right? Because it's a different.
It's so funny because like I think I'm probably, what is Joe, like 5'8", 5'9"?
5'8".
Yeah, so
5'8".
like I'm pretty similar height and weight to him on stage, but like I don't have that same dense look to me, like that difficult to move kind of density. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
my limbs are a little more spread out and a little longer, and yeah, it just flows different. I'm able to hit some of those poses that the more dense guys can't.
I think you
Well,
got taller, bro. I think you're like almost 5'10".
I'm like
which
5'9",
poses do you
5'8" and a
find,
half.
guys, that are hardest for you?
Twisting back double,
I mean, from the mandatories.
Side tricep.
yeah,
Fucking
Yeah,
side
such as
tricep.
dude, I can't even
That's
hit that right now, honestly. Like I just need to open up the entire top side of my pec, my front delts. I need to just dig in there and massage it out because I cannot move right now.
I'll find most poses pretty easy if I'm in decent condition. But all like heaviest off season, the side tricep is disgusting. So
No,
is
I'm not even doing it.
Yeah, I don't either.
It looks awful.
Even
Abs and thighs pretty hard too, honestly. When you're not conditioned for it, just holding that abs and thighs sucks, man.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
do
look
it.
like you would hit a wall with your head.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
5 seconds and you're like, fuck.
I don't do abs and thighs off season because there's no abs. It's just thighs. It's just thigh pose.
Have you guys watched the Police Academy?
What's
This,
that?
The which?
like the movie?
Yeah, the movie. Have you guys watched it? The Police Academy.
God, a long time ago. Isn't
Yeah,
that from
it
the
was.
90s?
It's like an old movie,
Yeah.
and there was Blue Lagoon. Every time when someone poses off season in trunks, I see a guy from Blue Lagoon. If you just play it, baby, just
What's that?
go Blue Lagoon on the YouTube.
Let me.
That's
Police
why when I'm
Academy.
off season, I basically only post like a side chest. That's it.
Yeah, fuck that.
Go on
Yeah,
YouTube. It is like 40 seconds clip.
Blue Lagoon.
Every time when someone poses on the off season and has trunks on him, I see those guys.
Let me check it out. But you guys keep talking while I pull it up.
I'm watching it.
Blue Lagoon. Oh, you watching
Hey,
it?
Robin.
They're in a
Yo.
gay bar.
When
Which
are
one
you
is
coming
it?
to California, bro?
It's like 40 seconds. I think it's first one.
When's the Cali Pro this year?
On the 27th.
2 weeks post New York.
1 week. It's 2 weeks before Toronto.
Yeah, I could probably do that. Well, I can maybe we'll see. I'd love to do that one.
Wait,
It's the
I don't see. I can't find
Blue
it correctly.
Oyster Bar.
Share the screen, baby.
Oh, okay. Hey, let me see it because I didn't want to. I didn't want to pull up something crazy.
Yeah, just Blue Lagoon.
This is when I put it in. This is what I found.
No,
No,
do
that's
it.
not, dude.
Blue
No,
Lagoon Police Academy.
Oh, okay.
no,
Police
Blue
Academy.
Oyster.
Blue
Oyster.
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 Okay, Blue Oyster. Blue Oyster. Bar song? Blue Oyster
Without the
bar?
bar song, the bar. Yeah,
Or
Okay.
bar.
That's right.
Yeah.
What is this?
That this one.
I'm not really
What-
sure what connection you're making here, David.
When you
What do
look
we
at
get
the
into?
But
tracks,
it's still funny.
when you look at the tracks, when someone poses off season, they look the same as the guy. This one.
And what are we getting into here?
What are you watching,
Look
bro?
at the trunks of those guys, and then imagine someone on the off season.
They're
Yeah,
wearing like assless chaps.
exactly.
I don't see
that's
that
how
part
the
in
Good
here.
guys
costume
in the
for
off
guest
season.
posing.
Exactly. When you guest post on the
Where
off
was the
season.
side tricep there, bro? I don't see
Thank
I
you
it.
for
wasn't talking
sharing,
about
David.
the side tricep. I was talking about the fat ass.
Yeah. I don't in all season I don't do side tricep, I don't do abs and thighs. I don't want to see this, baby.
You got waiting for it.
What is going on here?
Okay. Thanks, David.
You
How
just
do we
wanted to
get
show
there?
us that.
How did we get there?
David just wanted to show us that scene.
Getting like a feel for us. He wants to see, what kind of things we into.
He's thinking about Halloween costumes already or something. I don't know, man.
I wanted to
Let's-
see how you are going to guest post soon.
Check out Antoine. He just posted a recent thing like 2 hours ago. Crazy update, actually. To be honest, he looks really good.
Yeah, in some moonlight.
I think
Yeah, for sure.
low key, I feel like he's a bit underrated. I know he won 2 pro shows, but I feel like the way he's looking now, he's a lot better bodybuilder than when he was winning. Like, I think he's a really I think he's a really good bodybuilder, man. Honestly,
He's a very good bodybuilder. Yeah, definitely.
he's fucking shredded. Now he's balanced. Like, look at his chest. Like, he used to have to bring up his chest a lot, his arms a lot, shoulders a lot. I think it's all there now.
Yeah, sometimes when he poses, he actually, does too many of those rounds. Like when you pose and you just, towards to hit the mandatory, you act like you're doing a free posing routine.
Yeah.
I like that though.
That's
I
why
like that
sometimes
style.
sometimes he loses the control of the midsection. It looks like.
You do have to be careful with that.
This is incredible, bro. Look at the amount
Yeah,
of look at the
in the
conditioning.
shot, he looks insane.
Look at the conditioning. Look at the side leg.
Yeah.
Look at the shoulder feathers. I don't know where he puts his gear if his shoulders look like this.
Have you
No.
seen
In
Wesley
his
Gibbs?
calves.
Yeah, this is his calves. This is crazy. Yeah, the split.
Whoa. That's a great shot.
Yeah, he should have won the posing award.
By far, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it was
His
close.
routine was insane.
Yeah.
You see, like here, for example.
He's like an entertainer by nature. He's just really good at entertaining people.
This stuff is so cool, man. Like with Gyoko and like all this content that we have. That's what I'm saying. Because even if you're like a last place guy, you're still gonna have some awesome like video footage and stuff just to remember like your bodybuilding career by. Which like a lot of the guys like in the 90s don't have any of that. I don't think. At least not nearly as much as we do. So
Yeah,
another thing
Miloš is
to
still
be
asking
grateful for.
Yeah, Miloš is still asking for some, photos from some reporters and so on.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, he said tribute to Mike Matarazzo. I was gonna say that used to be Mike's entire routine. You ever seen his routine?
Yeah.
He would go like this.
Yeah, like 10 muscular.
Man, Mike Matarazzo is a fucking beast, man. He's like one of my favorite physiques of all time, just because his photo was in the first gym I trained at. I just saw that. I'm like, wow, I'll never look anything like that. But
Bro,
still don't, but I'm still trying.
what do you call the money collectors? Like for the mafia and shit? What do you call them? I can't remember. But he used to collect money for whoever he's collect money for. So he's known in the East Coast. He used to beat people's ass. He wouldn't go with a gun. He wouldn't go with a knife. He would walk up to you and beat your ass until you paid him the money. That was
Do you
like,
guys remember there was one guy who actually told to Sergio that he's not going to speak with him online. He's going to come and meet him in real life.
who's that?
He was a pro bodybuilder. I remember that he used to limp.
I don't remember who you talking about. From where did he win a show before? Who we talking about?
Yeah.
I
He was.
don't recall.
I remember that he used to, diet on Oreo cookies and so on.
You talking about Michael Lockett?
Yeah, exactly. He
Oh,
said
you're
to
right.
Sergio that he will just come to his. He's not going to argue on the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He would
Michael
just meet.
Lockett was kind of a gangster. Like,
Yeah, he wasn't fucking around.
you couldn't take the Chicago out of him.
no. When you can tell, like, when you have people who don't like to be on social media, that's usually the ones you don't want to fuck with. Because the ones that keep a low profile, they don't be on social media too much. You don't want to fuck with those guys. There's a reason why they're not on social media. Okay. Well,
Michael's a really cool guy, though. I see him in the
Yes.
gym all the time. Yeah,
super cool guy.
Yeah, I heard he's insanely cool until you fuck with him.
exactly. Yeah.
And he's shredded all the time, man. Okay. Let's go back to
See what Nick looks like.
Oh yeah, let's yeah. You want to make some rounds?
Yeah, make some
Yeah.
rounds.
Make the rounds, baby.
We haven't done the rounds in a little bit.
See how bad the New York Pro is going to go for me.
Yo, I really hope Tonio is a good sport because Nick has been going hard on him, bro.
I saw that. I saw that.
He's on his page, even like some of the side pages. I'm like, yo, I keep seeing the comments. I'm like, holy fuck.
He's chasing them down. He's hunting.
There was a funny one when he told him, "Did you flex yet?" That got me rolling.
Yo, because they have posted Tonio on one of the pages, Tonio doing the Arnold Brazil. He was like, I guess you got to qualify somewhere. I'm like, damn. Yo, he's relentless, bro.
Yeah.
Look, there's Tonio in there. He's dozing off.
Coming back. Oh, okay. All right, so yeah, if they're going back and forth, then he's a good sport. He's a good sport.
Yeah,
I mean, they're cool. I know they're cool in real life, but when you're dieting and stuff, sometimes you it's easy to get a little sensitive. So he doesn't seem to be taking it personally.
Tonio has a chance?
No. I don't think he has any chance. With all due respect, I don't think he has any chance.
Me too, honestly.
I don't think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be close. I got to be honest with you.
What if Nick comes off?
I still don't think he.
When the
Like,
fuck does that
without
happen?
Rex, we're happy.
Seriously, when does that happen?
Yeah.
Like all
Maybe
for Nick.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna sprinkle some Lasix in his drink when I see him before the show. Okay, it's our only.
He still won't lose, I bet. Like the only way that
You
Nick
actually
loses is if he gets hurt.
You actually might make him look better.
Yeah, you might. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Boy, the only time people said Nick was kind of off, I thought was his best look. So that tells you how off Nick comes in. Because the Arnold, he's a little flat. I'm like,
Oh my god!
I thought he looked better.
hilarious.
I thought that was his best look ever. If you ask me, I thought that was better than
Do
the
you guys
Olympian.
think that he got screwed on Arnold?
Huh?
You guys think he got screwed on Arnold?
Oh, at the Arnold. I wouldn't say screwed. I would say I feel like the judging went in a different direction. That's right?
I had him winning.
Correct.
I had him winning that year.
I think me, Stu, and Zayd all agreed that if we were a judge, we probably would have picked Nick.
Can I revise that statement?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the IFBB doesn't make mistakes. I understand why they made the decision.
I will say one
It's
thing
still
though.
right.
Nick now compared to that Arnold, he's a lot bigger now.
Yeah.
So I think that goes, that goes a long way. Obviously, it's fucking bodybuilding. So now if he comes with that conditioning with the new size, then that wouldn't happen again, kind of a thing, in my opinion.
Bro, his starting point for this prep was about, I don't know, 10 pounds heavier than his starting point for the Arnold, but like it looked like his 4 weeks out, but 30 pounds heavier. Literally. The way
Yeah.
he looked, starting this prep looked like how he looked 4 weeks out condition wise, but like 15 pounds heavier. So that's like it's gonna be a completely different person. Is what I what I'm assuming from what I've seen.
When I see Nick in person, bro, I really got depressed because this is the level I need to be at. But
Yeah,
it was
so
a genuine moment of sadness for me. I
Yeah.
looked at him. I'm
keep
like,
doing 200 tests, you will
I
get
was
there.
gonna say, bro, I think he does a little bit more than 200.
no. Even if I blasted, I don't think I can be this big. He is fucking large.
I know what
Very
you mean.
large.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have moments like that where I remember seeing like Kai Green or Victor Martinez at the gym, and I'm looking at myself like, yo, I think I'm wasting my time. You know.
Do you guys think that sometimes people who just can't get this big, they are always saying like, yeah, IFBB is going into different direction. Now I don't need to get even bigger because they just simply can't get big.
That's
You got to be
true.
big.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
got to be big.
Yeah,
I mean,
because I'm now like 280, something like this, and I know that I'm 5'11". I need to be 300 off season at least, and I doubt that I can get there. To be honest.
I don't
Yes,
think
you
you
can.
need to be. I don't think you need to be. I'm 5'11". I'm the same as you. You don't need to be 300. You don't need to be any specific weight. That's
Yeah,
a
but
fluky.
I have seen myself already in shape and being compared to others, and I see when I prep how much do I lose
And
how easy
where
I
did
lose the
you
weight.
land last year on stage? What do you weigh there as a super?
In my best shape, I was 250. 250.
What do you
Yeah.
think you need more of or less of to win?
I need to be like 260 to be a pro and to
It's not.
compete.
Robin is right. It's not about the weight. It's about the look. You know, like
Yeah, but
everybody.
But on
I
his
can't
frame,
have
I
the-
agree. He needs 10 more pounds.
Yeah, but I can't really have the look without the weight.
Yeah. So some guys can get
You-
away with it. We're not all Derek Lunsford. We're not all Tony O'Burton. We're white
Yeah.
guys, and we need to be big to look big.
Some people legitimately have to be big, have to be bigger, but there's no number that if you reach this number you're gonna get your pro card. You know, at your height and your build, I would agree you have to be bigger. But I think sometimes when you only think about the weight, I don't think sometimes it works in people's favor.
Mhm.
Yeah, because they
it's
come
just-
just fat, to be honest. And considering 250, my head is like 11 pounds.
Well, the thing is too is like, if you
Amen.
think about I have to be a certain weight, then if you weren't that weight for whatever reason, let's say you're 255, God forbid, but you're inside out shredded. Now you're getting farther and farther away from that belief that you could win because you believe that you have to be 260, where it's not true, man. Definitely not true. Maybe it could be around that ballpark for sure. Because again,
Yeah,
same
but I've
thing
been
for me, right?
I've been second in a pro qualifier like 4 times now. So, and it's always what judges told me, and it's always been a judge from like Rich Palmer, those guys, or Bob, people
That's just
who are
yeah.
judging.
I mean, it's just what they see, right? But really,
Just
it's like you
feedback.
could be. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, you got to be bigger. Of course, we need more muscle, but you could also just be. Where's that muscle going? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just the scale weight. Is kind of what I'm saying. Like,
Okay,
like,
so
basically what I'm saying. Basically what I'm saying, David. Basically what I'm saying is like you're right there. You're fucking huge, man. Like you just have to go in, right mindset, right show, right opportunity, right time, peaked, game over.
With
You
10
know?
more pounds
Right.
of muscle. That's all he's saying.
10 more
Right,
pounds is not
judges
going
Goes
to hurt.
without saying you always need to be in shape. You always need to
Yeah.
show up. But
Yeah,
on a guy like him, he's tall and he doesn't have like super pretty shape to the point where he can be smaller and get away with not being as big.
That's why.
I'm
That's
the
why I
same
think
way.
we're the same.
You're
Yeah.
the same way too,
Yeah.
Robin. Like
Yeah.
we have to be big.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got-
there's problems with getting fixated on a scale, sure.
Yeah,
If
like
it
I
prevents
think
you from getting in shape, then yeah, it's a problem. But
yeah. That's what the Stu is saying. If I ever come like fat, and I'd be sitting here and saying like, yeah, I need to be 10 pounds, bigger, then I would be a fool. But I always was in shape. So I'm
you guys
speaking
are saying the
about
same thing.
the same
You got-
percentage of the body fat.
You guys are
Yeah.
saying the same thing, but you're using different words. It's like you're both saying bigger. Robin in the green needs to be bigger. Bigger doesn't mean the scale weight going up. Your scale weight can go down and you can be bigger. I've competed lighter every year for the last 4 years, but I'm bigger. I'm just lighter because I'm getting tighter. I remember Steve Kuklo. At one point, Kuklo was getting to 300 pounds and competing at, I don't know, 280. And Kuklo actually started doing better when he was off season. He would be like 275, and then he would compete at like 265, and then he was much bigger and harder at a lower weight. So
But
we're
did
not saying
Cooker ever compete like 265?
yeah. The point I'm making is when he was lighter, he actually looked bigger because he was actually really hard and full. So it's more of a
but I
peaking
actually
thing.
tried coming lighter, and it looked like a broken wheel. You know, like it would
No,
just
we
stop the.
definitely, yeah, no, we definitely don't
Don't
want to come in later. I think what maybe
don't
kind of
come in lighter.
let
Yeah.
me frame it this way then, David. What body part do you think you need improving? Where, if you could put that fucking 5-10 pounds of muscle, where's it going?
Base.
No, man.
Yeah. No, adductors, hamstrings, arms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't come in lighter. Whatever you do, don't come in lighter. But
No.
the whole point is being 300 doesn't mean you're gonna actually look and appear to have a better physique on stage or even to look bigger on stage. You know what I'm
I
saying?
just think it's crazy too, because when you're this big already, when you know, bodybuilder size, even if you add like 7 pounds, 5 pounds, it's still pretty substantial. You're gonna notice that, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like where's that muscle gonna go? Like even for you, Stu, like what do you think you could improve on? Out of any body part, you could have
Well,
put
the
5
thing
pounds
is,
of muscle.
I don't look filled out yet. As annoying as that is, like I at my height, like at the weight that I was on stage last year at like 250, 253, like you'd expect me to look more filled out than I am, but there's still gaps, mostly in my back.
But do you
And
think that's because of your, training age? Because actually you just lack like density.
Wait, Stu
well, I
likes
have density, but not like maturity, if that makes sense. And
Exactly.
there's little stuff like, my teres and, my rear delts and little shit like that I can improve on. But no, do I need 10 pounds? No. But it's still, I don't know. I look at like my back double and I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of muscle there, but it's just not quite where I want it to be yet,
Stu.
Mm.
But Stu, a question for Stu. Whose opinion is it that you're not filled out? Is that your opinion, your coach, or the
It's my
judges?
opinion. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Maybe
what's
maybe it's
saying?
just when I look at my pictures, it's kind of a mindfuck because I took check-ins this morning. I look like dog shit right now. I'm sick. I'm flat. I'm watery. It's bleh. But I don't know.
I think
I can't
I
be
think in
like
the
It's in
show
your
top 10
head. It's
physique.
literally just in your head.
it is from the shows you did last year. You were by far the most filled out guy on stage, and you looked filled out. You're like you said, your back. There's areas where you could improve for your back to look more complete. But you were by far the most filled out guy. I think you would have won both shows if you were a little bit drier. I don't think you had any body fat though. But if you were a little maybe harder looking in certain body parts, I think
I don't know if
I
that's
think
just
you
a
win the show.
time thing or if it's a body fat thing. Because like my prep last year, my diet was not that hard. Like it wasn't that difficult. I'm definitely pushing harder this year already. I hope that it was just a body fat thing and I just need to push harder. If it's a time thing, then I just have to fucking compete for a few more years, which is annoying because I want to get this over with. But get to try the conditioning thing first. Oh, I'm a little worried, in my head. I'm like, fuck, what if I overdo it? I'm gonna try to overdo it though,
Beef soup.
Good thing you have a
Beef
coach,
soup.
so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, but I also know like the first time I worked with Blue, he did push me too far. And we're communicating way better now. We know a lot more about how
Robisz mi
to shit
perfect?
for me. What?
No, I was just saying to Laura, sorry, forgot to mute.
Yeah, so like the first year we worked together, it was too far, but so it's just going to be walking a finer line this year.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not like full on stage, I don't look like a professional. I look like crap.
Mhm.
So
That's where I guess that's where the muscle can help because more muscle can always, as long as your frame can hold it, and you don't want William Bonac to add more muscle, right? But you I think your frame can handle more muscle, so that's
yeah.
where that can have benefits to you having more tissue, so that even if you sacrifice a little bit of tissue to get that that last bit, you could still look as filled out, and then you might not need to carb up as much. You know how Dennis Wolf said he stopped carbing up later in his
Oh,
career. He couldn't do that early in his career. If he would have went to a show flat, he would have looked bad.
yeah. I think I need to be ready at like 2 weeks out, and then just get off the gas, and cruise into it, and start eating like early in the week, to actually fill out all the way. Because if I'm really depleted, I know it's going to take a while for me to like get life back in me. So
Yeah. Do any of you guys think that Steve Weinberger would tell Stu that he's not filled out? I
I
don't
don't think
really
so. Hey, your arms and shoulders are pretty filled out, man. In my
legs.
opinion, and
Yeah.
yeah, legs too. You're a very thick person,
I'm looking at
and
your
I
I'm
think
looking at your check-ins from a few weeks ago, and there's nothing that's missing, man.
you're a
I think
second place finisher at the New York Pro. You can't be in that position if you're not dense enough.
part of it is also,
Good point.
again, like when I take pictures on my own with how big my head is, that's what one of the things that throws me off. Because I look at like Nick's pictures, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? He looks way larger than me just because of the relative size of shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
Nick is
your
one of
head,
those one elites, brother. Yeah, he's the only exception I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stu's head was so much bigger than everybody at the Arnold. It's something I noticed.
I took a lot of
Nah.
pictures of people, and it was
Yeah.
pretty stark.
And listen, man, I don't care who disagrees. Yo, Stu can beat Tonio, bro. Stu can beat Tonio.
Absolutely.
Stu can beat Tonio. Whether he believes it or not, I guess it's irrelevant as long as he does. If he does the work, the outcome is the outcome, right? So it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter if Stu believes it at this point. But Stu
Yeah.
can 100% beat Tonio, So
We're only
that
talking about like 3 people right now for New York. It's Nick, Tonio, and kind of me. But
And
like,
Quinton,
there's
oh
yeah.
shit, Rubiel, Clint.
Well, I don't know if Rubiel's do it.
Quinton is
David, you
doing
shouldn't
it.
have said that. I don't think that's public yet. Beatty.
Oh,
uh,
who? Did you say Quentin?
yeah.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
said it on the podcast.
he's just joking. No,
Oh, he
we're
did?
just joking.
He
No, we
did?
didn't
They
say
said
that.
it on the podcast, and they were joking. Like Robin, you were on the podcast when you said, guys, like there is one more Canadian doing the New York Pro.
I've said it a couple times, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't edit that out then.
No, like, because the thing is, I started outing him because I'm like, why aren't you telling people you're doing it? I'm just going to tell people, like, what are you going to stop me? Too
And
bad.
wasn't he like on the last podcast on the HD muscle, like saying like he's like 6 weeks out or something? Sorry, 8 weeks
he
out.
he could be a contender against Nick if they go the shape
No,
route. He's a big
no.
He's big enough. He's big
No,
enough.
I'm sorry.
He's
Quint is my
tall.
Quint is my boy, but no,
If they go the
he's not
shape route, dude, don't you see it? If he was conditioned enough, I think.
No, he doesn't have enough back.
Nick is
Shape-
so muscular. Well, I don't know, man. Be
I
interesting.
really don't know how he'll line up because, like, I would look back at 22 Tampa and Texas, and he looked like slight on that stage. He was so tall, huge frame, and like he got in good condition in Texas. Like he was in good shape there, but he was shaky with his posing and like just looked gangly. He has super long arms and legs. But he's way bigger now. He's way fucking bigger now.
Yeah, the shape route works for Samson because he's 5'11", 300 on stage, right? If you're 6'2", unless you're 320 on stage,
Have you
you're
guys
not gonna-
watched the podcast of Milos with Jay Cutler lately? I mean, with Dennis. Because actually Dennis mentioned one really cool thing and really wise thing. Because Samson weighs himself before he leaves to States. So he checks his weight like he's in the house still, like 7 days out in the UK. So then it said
Oh,
like,
yeah, and gravity is stronger over in the UK. Yeah.
fuck off. I just meant that once you dehydrate and so on, you're probably on the stage like 285, not 300.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's for him, possibly. Yeah. For what they have to do to get him
Exactly.
bro,
dry, I wouldn't be surprised.
there's guys losing. I was always Stanimal, right? He said Sean Roden went from like 270 to 238 within days before the Olympia,
Wow.
right?
That's so fucking scary, man. Honestly,
Yeah,
that's
I would-
scary.
Well, no, it's not. Not for Sean Roden. For you, it would be, but not for him. So, similar about I've done similar things where I went from 270 to 240. It's some body types, bro. There's no now one cramp, not kidney markers don't move. It would be scary for most people. Like nobody should try to do that. But if it happens to you, that's great. Actually, if you're Akeem Williams or Samson
Yeah.
or Sean Roden, now anybody else, don't hear this. I don't care if you're black. But black people have different genetics too. Don't hear this and be like, you know what? That's what I have to do. I have to lose 20 pounds, show that because you're gonna fuck yourself up.
I just say it's scary because, like, I can imagine what that takes
yeah.
It's
know,
like
like-
20% of your body weight.
and how unpleasant it must be. Like, that's probably very uncomfortable in a few days.
Yeah.
I was like 265 when I got to Vegas, and I competed at USA's at maybe just below maybe 250.
Holy shit, dude!
But that was eating fish 3 times a day, 8 ounces, and that was it. Just tilapia, no vegetables, no anything. And I did that for about a week.
The old
So
Fankhauser diet. I love it.
It works.
So-
Fuck
we're
yeah,
talking-
it does.
we're talking about 150 times 4. That's my calories. I was 600 calories, 700. You know what I'm saying? So
And about, yeah, keep going. Sorry.
it can with the right body type, that might be your only bet of looking somewhat in shape. Just literally starving that shit off. Speaking of Akeem, one of my boys works with Cormier, and he used to go to Kuwait, and he would train with at the time Akeem, Rowley, Nathan, all those guys. And he was telling me that Akeem, okay, so they have full control, right? They bring you your meals. You don't go get your meals. They drive you around. You're not driving. They bring you your injections. I heard they even inject you sometimes, right? So they have full control. So there's no cheating. You know what I'm saying? You can't miss cardio because they're taking you to the gym for cardio. They're bringing you home. You can't you don't know the country. You're not going to just escape and go off and have some kind of thing, right? So he's like, Akeem's food was so low that he was fucked, and he couldn't even try to sneak out. Like he's trying to like get things like, what the fuck? Like this is not like, okay, 6 meals a day, you're hungry, but you're not starving. You feel like you're starving. You're not starving. This is real starvation to the point that his emotions, like, he could cry and like real emotions coming out because he's fighting for his life at this point. It's that bad. And when he was in Kuwait, I don't think he was even like his most peeled, that just tells you how crazy this shit can get for some people, like
Yeah.
legit starving. And
That's
that, like Stu said on website, you can't actually die from that because it's just diet. But holy fuck, you're gonna feel like you're dying, man.
they just come and check on you every 2 hours. Like, you still alive? All right, here's your meal. Here's your shot. Okay, see you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, like putting the finger under your nose, like he's still breathing. Yeah, fuck him.
If I was offered to go to Kuwait, I would fucking do it, bro. Seriously,
too.
I would leave
Me
for
too.
6
You'd be
months. at
taking a
time.
lot more than 200 mgs a test, buddy.
yeah. They're gonna push you,
That's like hourly injection of 2 hours.
I think we should save up and get Zayd over there. Try to pay. Start a GoFundMe. Let's go.
Isn't it
Get
crazy?
Zayd
Like
here.
they don't have guys do that anymore. Like who's over there still?
Good
Brandon
point.
Curry goes over there for his
Yeah.
preps.
You know, I
And
knew a guy who went over there for a while, but he's like an amateur guy, right? So he just had to pay so much money to kind of get like somewhat similar treatment that, you know, he went for like a week or two, like a bodybuilding vacation, spent all his money and came back. You're like, you know, it's like you got to be either really good or really balling out, I think.
yeah,
From what I heard, if you look like if Stu goes right now, they wouldn't let him pay anything. They would just take him in. Like even if
right, certain people they would, but like it's just interesting how 5 years ago everyone was doing it. It's like we got the fucking camel crew. You know, we got a ton of guys coming out of Kuwait, and they all look, not all of them, but a lot of them look really good. And now it's like, you know, the whole anabolic chicken has gone away.
it faded.
Yeah.
Shit.
There's more people in Dubai than Kuwait at this point.
Isn't Nathan sometimes going there?
For fun, I think, to train.
Yeah,
but not now.
sometimes.
Yeah,
but
he's just like traveling there for like a month or something like this.
I think he's still
Yeah.
on good terms with those guys, but he's working with his coach Stefan, and I mean, I don't think Nathan does great under extreme control, you know,
Yeah.
if I had to guess.
I was gonna say, because we're talking about control and stuff like that before, it's like that's again, you have no control there, pretty much. You're just gonna do basically everything you have to do and nothing else. That would take a really
Nathan has
unique
done.
individual. Like, do you think you guys could actually be like happy to do that? Or, you know what I mean? Like you're at home, like with your girl, like, you wouldn't be there like with your family or your friends, you know?
Definitely not happy. But would it pay off for a guy like me? I think it would benefit me. I would be fucked up mentally. I would probably be like insane. I would lose my head. But I think it would help my physique. So long as they don't carve me up on a bunch of shit and then fuck up my look anyways.
That's
which
the
is probably,
thing.
that's what's
Like,
gonna happen.
they have so much control over you that like, but they're not consistent at peaking from what I've seen. So like, I wouldn't want anything out of Blue's hands. But on the flip side, like when I have been like isolated and alone during a prep, like during the USA's prep, I didn't really have any friends. Just moved to Arizona. Like I killed it. Like it was not pleasant, but like that was a really good prep overall.
I agree.
You know, so I mean, yeah, you just only
Regan
doing
has once
bodybuilding.
recorded.
Huh?
Regan has once recorded and spoke about it,
Yeah.
about being there, how they kept him there. Robin,
It's
you
not gonna
perhaps remember.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work for Regan. I don't think it's gonna work for Regan.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
and
gonna say,
about Quinton, when I was saying that he doesn't have enough back, I was referring to Nick versus Nick because, you know, it's going to be hard to beat Nick from behind.
yeah, that's for sure.
I got a bigger ass than Nick, though.
Yeah, you do.
Do you?
Yeah, you can do the
I
wellness
think so.
versus Nick then.
I got bigger glutes than him, I'm pretty sure.
I think I got bigger glutes than both of you.
You have a giant ass, Robin. That's-
Rob got some ass. Yeah, I'm not
Do you
looking.
pin your
But he got
glutes,
some.
Robin?
Huh?
Do you pin your glutes?
I do pin my glutes, yeah.
Never. I never do that shit. Never.
No,
Me too.
maybe that's why.
Never in my life. I've never pinned my glutes.
No?
You know, no.
I've done it a
Yes,
couple
no.
times forever ago, but blue
I have done it once. I have done it once, and I've injected the Vinstrol, the water-based one.
Ooh,
I couldn't sit for 2 weeks.
Ooh,
yeah.
Well,
good choice.
don't do
It
that.
seems like everybody has an infection after injectable winning.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Fuck
The
that.
devil.
I don't know. Okay, going off topic, but I don't even know why anyone would inject
Why?
water-based Winstrol.
Well, it works really fast.
Take the
That's
pills.
true.
Tried it. It's
That's
good,
true.
but it hurts,
Typically,
man.
I remember
Yeah.
You guys
talking-
remember your first cycle when you just got, you know, like this, and that, and you were like, yeah, I don't care. That's when you inject the water-based Vinstrol.
I know.
When you just-
David still does it though because he's a psycho.
I can say that. I
Yeah,
can say this.
just every Sunday.
I can say this now because he's a Mr. Limpy, but I can't say who. But I do know one who did a water-based injection in his quad, and it messed it up pretty bad. So, you know, basically, once I heard that from him, I decided I would never try it myself.
Wait,
Oh.
this person won Miss Olympia?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that narrows it down a bit. Okay.
One of 19 then.
Could have been any of them.
remember-
Yeah.
I remember
Okay. Mhm.
Boston talked about like why you would do it, and he said that like you get you have to take like Winstrol usually for like 3 or 4 weeks to really get that hardening effect. He said it happens in like 5 to 7 days when you inject it. It's way faster,
Start
more
earlier.
potent.
You know,
Yeah, that's what I would do. But I mean, if you're
Nowadays there is loads of oil-based Winstrol.
I was gonna say I tried an oil-based one last prep and it was good. I liked it.
Why even pin it? Why not take oral?
Because I was having that issue with the colitis, so I couldn't do any orals.
Oh,
That's why. So
you didn't
yeah.
do any orals.
Well, for the last after New York, no orals at all.
Oh.
That's when it really messed me up because I did I kind of increased my orals going to New York. It got so bad I had to stop them.
Interesting.
Yeah,
orals fuck up my digestion. You know, for sure.
they can.
Like,
yeah,
it
That's
distends my
why you
stomach.
abuse them.
yeah.
It definitely distends my stomach as well a bit. So
The good thing about the gut, though, that I realize is that it's actually one of the fastest healing organ tissues in the entire body. So even if you fuck it up pretty bad and you don't keep fucking it up, it'll get better. It'll heal, which is nice
Oh.
because I thought I thought I ruined myself, with that kind of stuff.
yeah.
But no, I think it's just like you just can't abuse it, right? Like there's a certain threshold,
Mhm.
and so that's why I don't abuse orals. Bottom line, done, right?
The problem is
So-
you gotta stop eating to give it a chance to heal, right? Is that what you had to do?
Basically, dude, like after Toronto, I just started consuming so many fruits and vegetables, like my life depended on it.
Hmm.
And I had to stop eating anything that was harming it. And then that's basically what cured it, is just having so many fruits and vegetables in my diet.
And what were you doing for protein?
Just
what
like normal.
didn't-
I did
so
normal
that didn't
protein because
bother
a lot of these gut health like whisperers, experts, whoever, they're telling me like cut out your protein. I'm like, I'm a bodybuilder. That's not possible. And they're like, well, if you don't, you're going to be screwed up forever. I just kept my bodybuilder diet, but I ate a ton of fruits and vegetables. And so
you still had like rice and potatoes and stuff on top of that, regular carb sources.
pretty
Okay.
much, yeah.
Okay.
I did like basically what I did was I went back to my 4-week out diet, like a reverse diet. And then I just added as many fruits and vegetables as I could possibly eat in every meal for like weeks until basically I don't crave that stuff anymore. But the craving for that stuff was so intense that I couldn't, like, I was like craving every fruit, every vegetable, like mangoes, everything. Now I don't really care. It was weird. I guess that's what I needed. So yeah.
Yeah, that's
I ate
basically your
up.
body saying that you need some vitamins, yeah?
Maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Now
yeah,
look what brilliant idea Robin brought to people. You can abuse as many orals as you want. Just
Mhm.
eat vegetables after.
Eat vegetables, yeah.
That is
that's
not
it.
the takeaway.
That's the
It
takeaway,
is.
yeah.
It is
But
already noted in my mind. So it is so deep in my mind that it's not going away.
It's not going away. Yeah.
150 Winstrol from tomorrow on.
we'll say that generally if you're dealing with ulcerative colitis, you can use celery juice to cure it
Ew.
specifically. So works
Celery
really-
juice. Who wants to drink that?
Sounds like some juice
Yeah.
cleanse bullshit.
You don't have to change anything about your diet. You just drink it first thing in the morning. It coats the stomach, prevents it from continuing to get rid of, and the actual ulcers themselves can heal. So for some reason it works, man. Even you trust me, it sounds weird, but I had Justin Shire, had also other guys message me because I had somehow fixed this colitis issue, and they couldn't fix it still. I said, try the celery juice, and they DM me saying it fixed it. So that's
Wow.
why I'm saying it's not like it only worked for me. I'm telling people now because it's been working for others too.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So
It's weird, dude. Yeah, it's bizarre, and I almost didn't believe it because it sounds like it wouldn't work, but because I was so desperate, I'm like, well, I've tried everything at this point. And it was the last thing.
in that case, I'm about to abuse the shell of Anadrol. I'm just gonna drink my celery juice.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
I'll be all right.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Shit, what
heard
time
if
is it?
the Winstrol suspension is real, you can drink it and you still get effects.
Yeah,
Instead of
because it is literally just the powder suspended in water. So same
Yeah.
difference as the oral. It's just not put in a pill. It's just suspended.
You guys ever use the nasal test gel, the one that you sniff? Stuff's awesome.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Nah, I never used that one.
but yeah. My old coach, well, he's still my coach, but he used to coach me more. Benoit, he just like, here, man, here's this thing right here. I'm like, what is this? Nasotesto. It's like a prescription gel that you put in your nose. Yeah, it works, man. You take it right before you train.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's like Tesno ester that you can snort.
yeah. My ex-wife tried it, dude.
Woo.
My ex-wife tried it, and she took 5 milligrams and she deadlifted like 4 plates, and she was like screaming. And I'm like, wow, that's fucked
Wow.
up. So
Nasal test?
Yeah.
Nasotesto, yeah.
You heard it here
So-
first, guys.
Sound like a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
This guy at the gym was telling me about his boy makes all this like all these creams. Like he got test cream, Tren cream, and he said he rubs it on and then it's like instant. That sounds kind of fishy. Like, you want to try it? I think I'm good. I think I'll
Like
pass.
the ways that people try to get around injecting themselves is just ridiculous. Like now guys are like, yeah, like rub the cream like on your balls, go out in the sun. Like, dude, no, I'm just injecting
Yeah.
you know, I'm good, dude.
I'm good.
You
Okay,
know?
maybe when I'm like, if I'm like 65 and I just want to chill, I don't want to shoot anymore. I might rub some cream on my balls, you know, as in my 60s, maybe.
Dude, I could still shoot myself once a week, I think. You know, I'd rather do that than the cream. The cream is fucked up because it rubs off on everything you touch, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do a suppository, baby. More
Yeah,
up your
it's
alley.
about 60. No, 60. No, 60 is young. Isn't Dennis James like 60? Did he just turn
Yeah.
60?
That's
Oh, no,
insane,
This year
man.
he does.
Doesn't
Well,
look like it.
I'm not Dennis James, so I'm not going to assume that I'm going to look like Dennis James at 60. But if I do, I could probably still pin. At a
By the
certain
way,
age,
when you speak about the testing gel, when you use it and you actually hook your girlfriend, she might be like, she might take
Grow a
some of
beard.
her.
she might grow a beard. Yeah,
Or
you're
a
right.
dick.
That's a
I don't-
sensitive topic. Yeah, that's a sensitive one there, bro.
You know what? I don't mind a little bit of clit growth, man. I don't mind a little bit of clit growth. I'm okay with that. You know?
It depends how much big,
I hear
how
you.
big
I
is
hear
it.
you.
I'm cool with it. You know, even a little sideburns. You know, as long as it don't connect, I'm good. If you got a little sideburn here, yeah, that's cute. I'll play with that shit. You know, a little sideburns cute. I don't. I
I'm
don't
not
care.
going to stage.
I'm just unbothered with that kind of shit. It's like, if she's cute, she's cute. I don't give a fuck. You can just be cute with a big clit. It's all good. All good,
Yeah,
baby.
you know, you can't really complain because you're gonna give her your fucked up shit too, and she's gonna have to deal with whatever the fuck's going on with you. You know, so
Exactly.
it goes both
Fucking
ways, bro. Yeah,
a lot of guys got fucking Skittles balls and they complain about big clits. Look at your balls, bro. You got Skittles, M&Ms over there.
Are you using your balls when you are,
Fucking
yeah?
no, you know, but the
Exactly.
clit,
That's why I don't want the overgrown clip.
no, you
More-
kind of do.
more clit,
How?
more is better. It
Are you
could be
going
better in
in-
other ways. You don't
That's
got to
a good
search for
debate.
it. It's a lot, you know, it's not hard to find, you know, because hey, a lot of
You
you
know-
guys can't find the clit that easy. So, you know, there you go. Boom, it's there. You can see it now.
Gonna be some new topics in the Discord forum. Fucking Beatty's protocols for clit growth, for foot growth. It's gonna
Oh
be
my
in there
God.
soon.
Oh, yo, you know what else you could do? Nah, this might be a sound a little too crazy. but you could actually give a girl Cialis, and then she gets like a clip boner. Now,
It works,
if,
yeah.
True.
if the girl had a huge clit, maybe refrain, refrain from that because that boner might be too.
Too intense.
You don't want the out angle, bro. You don't want the out
And
angle.
you're like,
Let's
Be
pivot
careful.
from this.
Be careful. If a girl had a huge
Please?
clit, don't get for the Cialis.
Please?
But all right, okay, that's a little too. Got a little too deep there.
Yeah,
we on air. Gotta keep my composure.
No wonder you like wellness chicks, bro. Now it makes sense.
Hey man, hey.
you know
So-
that my girl actually has a nickname on the Instagram, Lady Wellness.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't know your girl does wellness.
she did once or twice.
And she don't have implants, I'm assuming, according to Ken.
and not overgrown, you know.
Yeah.
My girl does wellness too.
No implants either, huh?
No.
Yeah. So
Wasn't
Ken,
she?
there you go, Ken.
Wasn't you trying to keep her in the bikini?
Yeah. We tried.
Yeah, I told you from the beginning that it's not going to work.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think she knew
just got
that. I think she knew
she's
that.
just got lovely quads. That's all.
Yeah.
I kind of find that bikini girls who like not who really enjoy to train hard, not that bikini girls don't train hard, but like bikini girls who really train hard, they tend to kind of want to move to figure or wellness at some point, right?
Yeah.
That seems to be like a pattern.
Just like there's such a level of, I don't even want to call it perfection, but just like they've nailed it down in bikini, like to an exact standard that they want. And you really have to have the genetics for that. And you have to, like you said, not like train yourself very hard. Like you really have to be like so careful with the training. And she just naturally grew out of it, you know, and like you're saying, a lot of women do just because they enjoy training. It's like, how do you go into the gym every day and train like 25%? Like,
well,
it's hard to do that.
What can you do? Okay. Let's be real. If you have 50 girls all around the same size, you can't get bigger, you can't get harder. So you, like you said, you kind of nail that look they're going for. Either you're first or you're last. How can you change it? You can't come in harder, can't come in bigger, can't come in taller. You could change your hair, you know. So at some point, if you want to progress, you have to do something else because either they like your look or they don't. Because you know you can't really do it. At least in figure and wellness and other divisions, you can say, okay, well maybe I add more shoulders, but once like Robin said, you nail that look that they're telling you they want, and you don't win, you can't really do anything about it.
And like with
the thing is, that they basically either have to, as Robin said, train like 25% 3 times a week, or they have to starve themselves all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Because there is no off season for the bikini girls.
Exactly. Like with my girlfriend, she loves to train, she loves to eat. Like that's her lifestyle. That's been her lifestyle for a long time. So with bikini division, she would have to basically not do all the things she loves, which is like have an off season, like eat food, you know what I mean? Like not train. Like she enjoys that stuff. So when we talked about it, it was like, well, you compete once a year. You get on stage once a year. The rest of the year you have to train and eat and do the stuff that you love to do. Otherwise, what's the point? And so she had to think about it for a long time because she was so adamant on staying in bikini. But when you weigh it out, day-to-day life, it's like, this is the lifestyle. You got to love your lifestyle. If you don't, then the competing part, it's not worth it. And then if you don't win, it's like, I did all that for nothing. Right?
That's
Exactly.
true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now she's happy now, so it's cool. And wellness is awesome, bro. Wellness is
It
awesome.
is.
Yeah.
Wellness is
very
wellness
competitive.
is great.
Very competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. I love that the girls can train hard and it's competitive, and I love that they've capped the conditioning and muscularity, so it's not like super freaks that are going to be winning. It's like they look good.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I'm honestly like a huge fan of. I feel like when wellness came out, it was getting a lot of hate, but I think anything new gets a lot of hate, and I don't know. I've never been the type to hate anything. Like some bodybuilders hate on men's physique. I think they have incredible physiques. I can't say I follow it super close, but I think they're phenomenal. There's this belief that they don't train hard or this or that. We got to understand that just because we can eat and take gear and be 300 pounds, everybody can't do that. Yeah. There's people who can train harder than us, eat more food than us, take more drugs than us, that they'll never be 300 pounds. Shit, David just said he don't think he'll be 300 pounds. I think David can be 300 pounds, but in general, it doesn't work that way. So just because
I'm already eating like 9 calories.
Well, basically, you kind of see what I mean. So what if you were 220 pounds and everybody's saying, oh, you don't train hard, but that's why you do classes.
You are saying the right thing, because I have actually trained with some of the classic guys and men's physique guys, and those guys train really, really hard. They are just not able to grow.
Exactly.
The other thing
So
too is I bet you a lot of those guys are probably saying, hey, those fucking open bodybuilders, they don't train their abs enough. Why are they slacking off on their abs? You know? So
yeah, flexing. Listen,
yeah, yeah.
I know a lot of open bodybuilders who I don't think they train hard. I know it's relative, but I'm like, that don't look very hard to me. So it's easy to sit around and judge other people, but I don't care to do that. Like this is our little, niche. How about we just support each other instead of
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I don't like men's physique. I don't like bikini. Oh, men's bikini."
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a huge pet peeve of mine when people say a pro bodybuilder doesn't train hard. Like especially, someone like Samson
Oh
or
my
just
God.
someone that's like they start talking about that as an argument. That's just you gotta shut that down because it's not even
I
fair.
hate it.
It's not
Bro,
fair.
Yeah, but what if you could, for example, curl 8 kilogram dumbbells, and grow your arms? Why would you then force yourself, injure yourself, do the harder stuff? No one is getting paid for doing the harder stuff. You are just being judged. Like it is not like you're going on the stage and it is like some kind of, uh, writing under your above your head, like he curled 100 pounds. No one
Yeah.
gives a fuck what have you done. And to be
Yeah.
honest, it gives longevity if you are able to do it.
Yeah.
Imagine being like a '90s guy, and you're like, "Oh, I don't follow the sport. I don't know what's going on." But you know what? You know what I do know? Guys these days take a bunch of drugs. They don't train hard, and they don't come in shape. How the fuck would you know that if you just said that you don't follow the sport at all? So, you know what
The
I'm
way I
saying?
see it too is like that's an argument a lot of the times too. It's like train harder or lift heavier or things like that. But when you think about it, it's like everybody has different strength levels. So let's say, Beatty can bench 500 and I can only bench 400. Well, it wouldn't make sense for either of us to be benching our max all the time. We would use like whatever, 75, 80% of it and be doing sets of 8 to 12. Like that's bodybuilding training. So if you're going above your threshold of, yeah, that's dangerous, then no, that doesn't make sense. But if you go below of what's heavy, what's challenging, then that doesn't make sense either. Gonna have to be, you got to be again at 80% and then work with that shit, right? You're still gonna get stronger, right? You're
And
just not
Speaking
gonna be
about,
the strongest.
speaking about taking not as much gear as we do nowadays, there is a podcast where Cormier speaks to Dennis and Milos, and he admits that he took 18 IUs of GH,
he did.
of the
Yeah,
Serosip.
Wow.
Those have some good gay friends, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then the same guys will turn around and act like they never took anything in it. I remember Chris said, he said I have the least shot up physique, or he said I never shot up, right? And then Dexter Jackson was like, "Bro, you're the one who taught me how to shoot up. You didn't tell me that."
yeah.
He
I remember
literally
when they laughed at Dexter actually at this podcast, and
the
Dexter was
Cavs.
like, "Yeah," and Dexter was like, "You don't want to go that way. You
Yeah,
don't want me
because
to,
I got
to
stories
start
exactly.
speaking."
Because they were like, "Oh, Dexter, that year you shot up your cows." He was like, "Hey, you want to get into it? Because I could put you on blast right now too." Because they love to downplay what they do and act like they were all natural and taking 200 tests
When you want to
and
be
never.
when you want to be the best in the world, you're gonna push it at some point just to see if it, I'm sure
If
everyone
it
pushed
works,
it.
it is like being a Formula One driver and driving like 200, and you're like, what happens when you drive to 20? It's same shit. You're like taking gram of test, and you're thinking like, I'm getting a good gains. Why don't I go to 1.5 just to try it?
Yeah. Listen, man. I know on this podcast we don't give a fuck. Like, even if we try something and that wasn't what we usually do, we'll still admit it. Zayd admits to trying crazy shows. Stu, he said, "I'm trying 15 IUs of growth." Most people would never admit that. They would just say, "Nah, I usually do 5," and they won't even mention that that they increase it to 10 or do this or that. I don't give a fuck. Like David said, they don't ask you on stage what you take. Nobody cares what you take.
Yeah.
Nobody cares how heavy you train. Nobody cares how much you bench. Bring the look and you get the reward. But I was gonna make a point earlier, like Robin was saying, just because you're stronger than somebody doesn't mean you train harder, right? I did chest with Joe and Paul. Joe did 4.25 on incline for like 15 reps. That's not heavy for Joe. If you do 15 reps, that's not heavy. So I did 4, and I'm fucking struggling every rep. I can make the case that I'm the one that trained harder on exercise, But most people be like, "Well, Joe went harder than you because he's stronger than you." But it's like, well, Joe is strong. He's just
it was actually harder for you.
exactly. So that's the funny part. Joe's chest strength is ridiculous. He could lift anything, but he could do 5 plates easily on that. No problem. But that doesn't mean he's pushing his body harder than me just because he's stronger than me, right? Same if Larry could do, I don't know, 900-pound squats. If I'm doing 500-pound squats, that doesn't mean he's training harder than me, So that's really not what it is. So nobody cares about who they think trains hard, It's just, what do you have to do to grow? Stop worrying about who's training harder than guys in the 90s. It's so irrelevant. It doesn't make any sense,
As well, the thing about the drugs, which Stu said, really, really explained it the best way. Because Stu said that in the future, he won't have to take as much. Because you need to push the threshold to grow. To maintain, you don't have to push that much. And sometimes people are like, yeah, nowadays I'm taking like 500 tests, 500 Masteron, and 500 Primo. But they forget what they used to do 1 year ago to push it to that, to that level.
That's facts.
We were talking about like crazy cycles in the Canadian Beef podcast, and I said, because we were talking also about like taking out your test, doing like no test cycles, and most guys would just say that's bullshit. I'd probably say that too, but my coach to get my pro card, I did fucking 700 mass, 700 Tren, no test at all.
Yeah,
not for the whole time, but like the last. Yeah,
I did
the last how long?
The last 4 weeks.
I sent to Beatty and to the Stu the cycle of the Russian pro, who wrote it on his knee. He sat next to me and he wrote it, and it was like, for the first 20 weeks, you take.
Don't even say it.
Or you take a lot of tests.
No, see, I'm going to write it down. Hold on.
For
I got my
20
notebook
weeks,
right here.
you
Let's go.
take a lot of Deca without test.
Yeah.
And you support it with orals. And those are the cycles, like.
And that's kind of the point. That's kind of my point. Is you don't need to copy someone else's cycle. You don't need to copy someone else's workout. You don't need to do 800 pounds to get big legs. It's like all these things you kind of learn over time. But
that's why I didn't want him to say it, because I know if I was 21 watching the podcast and I heard it, I'm definitely writing that shit down. I'm probably gonna try it. So I'm like,
I was 21 when I did that cycle.
About trying it. That was the first time when I was like, nah, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
That was just dumb. When you see some shit and you're like, this is dumb. You know that this guy's crossing the line.
There's a big difference between something that's maybe a little bit risky and something that's just completely unhealthy. Like that's actually ruining.
Yeah, that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't even work. It doesn't even work.
It works until it doesn't. There's some pretty crazy looking Russian
That's
guys
the
out
problem
there.
with the drugs. Drugs always work.
You see, okay. What do you mean by work? Because if I did that, I can't eat. First of all, if I'm on 500 fucking milligrams of orals, I can't eat. So what's working here? If I can't eat and I can't train because I don't want to get out of bed and I'm dragging ass and I'm falling asleep on the stairwell.
That's what Robin said. It means that you can't, but there will always be some guy that it is going to work for.
We're talking about Russians here. They're not.
I don't care. And you know that Russians have the real pharmaceutical stuff.
Eric did it, and I guess it worked. I guess he added like 40 pounds of stage weight. So if I'm being honest, it did work. Now, how many years could he have done that? I don't know. But
that's the thing. We talked about it before. Like Russian guys are like flash in the pan. They're here and then they're gone.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to Robic, the CEO of, the owner of Apollon, my supplement company, and he's Ukrainian. He used to coach some of the Russian guys. And he was talking about like what some of the shit they do, and it's like it's wild, man. There's a reason why they don't last very long.
But how come only they can absorb it? Is it like it could just be like some people Some people can absorb liquor better or alcohol. Some people could. It might be a genetic, guys. Genetic.
It is, man. 'Cause, it's like you get like the run of the mill average Joe. He starts his first test cycle. He's breaking out. He's got like he's getting gyno, like all sorts. It's like, dude, I don't think you're gonna,
Yeah.
your body does not always respond to everything the same as everybody else, right?
Yeah.
That you spoke about the orals, and most of the Russian, Ukrainians, and so on drink a lot. So perhaps their grandfather, grandfather, and so on
Yeah.
drank
That's
so
a very
much
good point.
that
Good
that
point.
their livers in the future just got, genetically
You're right.
stronger.
No, that's literally like natural selection. Like
It
Yeah.
is.
you would die before you can reproduce if you have a weak liver in those countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it sounds like a joke, but I think that's what happened. When I used to bounce, I used to work next to like a Irish pub, and I would watch some of these Irish people drink, and I'm like, how are you still standing up? You know what I'm saying? But at my club, people take 2 shots and they're on the fucking floor, and I'm
Yeah.
like, huh. So
That's me. That's me.
If you would see like Polish medicine students, you would be like, what the and they are all like 120 pounds or something like this, and they
Yeah.
would all drink every each of us here.
Yeah. You know how usually when like bigger guys give their cycle, everybody said they're lying, they take more. Konevsky gave his, and everybody was like, "You're lying. You take less."
You take less.
People start saying that's like fake year at that point, right? It's like underdose or something like that.
The whole comment section was like, "That's fake Anadrol. No way you take." I'm like, "That's the same Anadrol I'm taking, bro. This shit is real because I can't even eat right now,
Yeah.
And Eric did it. His blood work, to make it even worse, he posted his blood work, and they're like, the blood work is fake. And I'm like, listen, no, it's real. Like, now, that being said, he was also like 22, 23. If he was 33, I don't know if it would have looked that good. But it's genetics, bro.
Yeah.
Genetics.
It's like the protein debate too. It's like at
Idiots.
some point, like there's like a limit of how much your body can actually, whatever you want to call it, absorb or utilize or optimize with. Like, yeah, there's a law of diminishing returns with like basically everything, right?
That's what you
for
said,
me.
There is a threshold when you still can absorb it and still get a little bit more, but you get shitloads of more of the side effects.
Sure, yeah, and that's different
Yeah.
for everybody. Yeah.
I'm on 200 protein right now, and I feel great. I'm still adding muscle, the whole 9, and I'm recovering fine. When I have 300 plus, I just store it as fat, bro. I literally just store it as fat. I just don't need that, where somebody like Stu might need 600. It is what it is, and it's like there don't have to be like a rhyme or reason. It doesn't have to make sense. You just have to track it and be like, this is what it is. I don't care what anybody else thinks or anybody's opinions. This is what my body is telling me and showing me. So that's what I'm going to do. If everybody tells Stu, bro, take less protein, you don't need that. It doesn't matter to Stu and his coach. He's like, listen, my body is responding and growing in this fashion. I'm going to keep having 500 grams of protein.
Well, as long as I can digest it and handle it, which I can. I got a good stomach, thank God. I got no problems with it. Yeah.
Listen, you wouldn't be doing it because you wanted to do it. You're doing it
No,
because
it sucks, dude. I fucking hate eating all that chicken breast, but it works. My urine doesn't taste. It smells like chicken breast. I swear to God, it smells like chicken. And I've just started eating fish, so it's probably going to change to that pretty soon. So,
Dude, my fucking clothes are starting to smell like fish. Like, I hate that.
What
When you're
fish
cooking
do
a
you
lot of
guys eat?
fish.
What fish do you guys eat?
I usually eat swai, which is like a white fish similar to tilapia, but the fillets are bigger. And you get like 15-pound boxes, but they didn't have any in stock at the store I went to, so I got tilapia, which is still fine. I don't really mind fish, man. People like to bitch about fish, but
what's wrong with fish? If it's
easiest to eat. Easy to eat.
Yeah.
Well, Stu probably loves it because he can get it down easier.
Very easy, yeah, and it digests very easily. Like when I go all fish, which I'm probably going to do in the next week or two, like my waist just shrinks down significantly because it digests so quickly and it's in and out of you. It's great. I like it.
If so, Stu, right? If me and you switch genetics, and you were able to eat 200 grams of protein, and I could eat all the food in the world, how long do you think we would enjoy it before we're like, fuck this is bullshit?
Give it a week. Yeah.
You-
I mean, you just it's a matter of like pick your poison, except you don't get to pick.
Exactly.
What do you guys think about the whey isolates and so on? Do you keep them in your diet until like last week?
I
I
keep
do.
it in, and then Blue has me cut out like everything that's artificial, artificial flavors, sweeteners, colors. I don't even have an intra workout at that point.
Yeah,
Just cut all.
10 weeks out?
No, at like a week out.
A week out,
Yeah.
okay.
So like I'm having white fish for breakfast, which is about as tasty
Awesome.
as it sounds.
Yeah, but who cares? It's
kinda
about the
sucks.
goal.
You
That rings a
said,
bell. Oh, shit.
wait, what question did you ask, David? You said,
About the
What-
whey isolates and the EAAs and so on. Do you keep
Oh,
them
yeah.
at
I would keep them in if if I wasn't starving, but I'm so hungry that I don't want to shake. I just want to eat something, I mean, even if it's something like white fish, honestly, if you're really hungry, you fucking love fish. You're gonna love fish at some point, Whenever if you feel like you're picky, like, oh, I don't want to eat that, you're not that hungry. When you're really hungry, you would a piece of broccoli, that shit might as well be fucking chicken wings, bro. You'll tear up a piece of broccoli so quick. So if you have a client who's overweight, like, oh, I don't want to eat this, you'd be like, motherfucker, don't eat anything. And in a week from now, you're gonna want to eat that chicken breast. Trust me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see, same when I have clients.
I don't use whey. I don't use whey at all anymore. Cut it out.
Oh,
because of your digestion problems?
Yeah, dude. Like I tried like a couple days ago because I wanted like something sweet, kind of like as a treat, whatever. And yeah, I had diarrhea. I was like, fuck, man.
Oh,
Do you use the EAAs, for example?
I use EAAs. I use the unflavored, the HD ones.
Unflavored. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
When I have a client like Stu's metabolism, and they're like, yo, bro, I can't eat any more food, bro. This is it. Like, this is my I'm sorry, coach. I just can't do it. I'm like, okay, no biggie. We're gonna go 0 carbs Saturday and Sunday. And Monday, the motherfuckers, they ready to eat. They ready to eat again, And no harm done. They lose like, I don't know, 4 pounds. They gain that shit back by Tuesday. Simple as that. Simple as that. Don't eat. You don't want to eat. Don't fucking eat for a couple of days. You're gonna miss that food, man.
Oh yeah, man, dude. I remember a couple times on prep, like some weird, like when you're really hungry, and I remember walking down the street and seeing like a half-eaten sandwich on the floor, and like considering eating it. Like I was like, that looks good, Like, and I was like, dude, that's kind of weird.
They actually ate from the floor, so
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But it wasn't my food.
Whoa, that's tapping into uncharted territories, Rob.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I was weirded out. It's like, what's going on with my brain?
All right, I think it's time for some questions.
actually, because just one last thing before we go to the questions. When I'm, because I'm not doing cardio when I'm prepping, so actually I'm walking always, just doing the walks like Stu does, for example, now. So I'm always doing the same route, and I always pass the same, place with cookies. So when you do it every day, you just don't care because it's you are going to pass it and so on. If I'd go to a place like if it would be like a surprise, and you feel like McDonald's or something like that, you're like, yeah, I'd like this. But when you are doing it every day, you're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I guarantee if you
Sounds
start
like
looking at,
torture.
if you go in there, you start smelling, you start looking.
No, I'm not going there. I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. Out of sight, out of mind, right? But
Yeah,
Bro, at Zoo Culture, there's the Crumbles cookies right next to it, bro. And every day in prep, I'll be like, I'm doing pretty well. My weight is I'm kind of ahead of schedule. I could eat a cookie, right? And of course I would drive home every single day. I would smell it. I'm like, one cookie. I'll just cut my rice meal. I can have a cookie, right? Every single.
it
It
would
was
never be just one cookie.
Well, it was like I was torturing myself. It was weird. I started liking it, like just looking at it and battling my head, like, oh, do I eat a cookie? It became like a relationship or some shit. It was like a abusive relationship.
Are those even good? I've never even had one of those crumble cookies.
So, who does
It's-
he remind you of?
Stu,
Me.
Oh,
crumble,
Dude, I think
crumble
the crumble
cookies.
cookies are overrated, man. I think they're pretty overrated from what
How
I heard.
much do they cost?
Too much.
It's kind of it's like $5. I don't know per
What
cookie.
the fuck? What?
It-
$5
it's-
$5
for
for a
a
cookie?
fucking cookie?
They're
I
not
mean,
even
I
that
guess
big.
It's a donut. I don't care how good the cookie is. It's not a donut. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. That's crazy.
It's not that good. If you've
If
never
I
had it before,
$5, I'd just make a new life out of it. Not of a fucking
Like
cookie.
rich white bitches who buy that shit, right? Like,
Yeah, they're like
that's why I
on
see
the
eating that
Instagram.
crap. Like
Yeah, they're
after
on the
a show,
Instagram, like, showing off, like, here's my cookie.
flexing
yeah.
a cookie. Like, bitch, what?
I thought
Ugh.
it was really good because the first time I had it was after a show. Everything's good
Yeah.
after a show. You could
Yeah.
I mean anything you eat. So I was like, oh, these are so good. Now I'm like, it's not really even a cookie. It's kind of like a low quality cake in shape of a cookie, basically.
It's honestly, it's a good business, man. Like my girlfriend was gonna do it for a while, and she gave it up. But she was like making cookies and bring them to like the local shows, and the girls were going crazy for them, man. They were like she was just getting
Gosh.
blown up. Like, can you make me like 12 cookies? Like,
Because they're
I'm like,
hungry.
you could have a serious business, and she didn't even like barely advertise. She was just. I know Mo Shaban, like him and his wife, and Juan Morel and him and his wife. They have like fucking empires from cookies, you know.
Yeah, because we're hungry as fuck.
Yeah.
That's great prey. A fucking
Oh,
great
yeah.
prey to have, prey on the hungry people.
Mo's super smart too, because he put in some of the shows like a cookie in some of the competitor bags.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
I was like at the Puerto Rico, I'm like at the beach, like with this cookie. I'm like just sitting there eating the cookie, and all I could think was, well, I can't remember now, whatever his cookie company name was. I was like, man, like so
See,
smart.
Yeah.
OCD cookie company.
OCD
Good
cookie.
dealer
Yeah.
always gives the first share for free.
Always, yeah. That's how they get you around here too, man. You know,
Just lay some fentanyl
Yeah, and
in
then
there,
you're
get you
like-
hooked.
Get you
Yeah,
going.
and
first
then-
bag is always
And
free.
then you bump the prices, and then you become the millionaire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they make a lot of money. I mean, my cookie dealer do. I don't know how much money Mo makes. All right, let's get into questions, guys. Probably do like 2 questions. All right. Okay. Let me try to pick a good one. Ever had somebody send you a email or DM for used underwear? This person offered me 100. He offered me 50. I think it's the same guy. What? How come he offered you 100? Only.
That's insulting. You're worth more
Did
than
you
that.
guys get that message? It was a
yeah.
yeah.
I've gotten
Yeah.
one before, but I never actually
How-
sold them.
How much you got offered? Because I feel lowballed now.
I've never been offered anything. I told them $500, and they stopped responding. So I guess they didn't want it that bad.
I mean, if they
You know,
hit everybody up,
There are stories in Poland because you often hear about some grandpa. And those guys are going to grandpa in Germany, for example. And they're riding those, expensive cars and so on. And one girl once found out who the grandpa is. And let's say that the grandpa wasn't the real grandpa. They were paying for some services, just simply gay for pay.
oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And going
That's the
to
thing.
Germany, getting paid, and they were acting like it's grandpa.
Oh,
I will say I've sold some clothes online. That's for sure. At one point,
there we go,
back
Rob.
in-
Talk that talk.
yeah, back in 2021, I did like a line of clothing, and I tried to sell it, right? But I was wearing them on Instagram, and like, here's my sweater. And some guy messages me. He's like, "Yeah, I want to buy that sweater." I'm like, "Yeah, of course, cool. Here's $50. Here's the link." He's like, "No, I want to buy that sweater." I'm like, "Oh, this the one I'm wearing." He's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." I'm like, okay, cool. $250. He's like, "Yeah, done." So whatever, sent it to him.
Do you still have the information?
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send me the
Yeah, I
information.
got you. Loyal
Okay.
customers, bro.
We love the gays.
Yeah.
We love the
yeah.
gays.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good customers.
This
But all I'm
I'm
saying is if you do put out that offer, the boxers or whatever for 500 and they accept it, that's on you, bro.
yeah.
Yeah,
you
make
put
sure
the
you
offer.
ship it like first class air or something. Get it to
Yeah.
them quick. It's a lot of money.
I think this person watches the podcast because I feel like we've all gotten this DM. So if you're watching it, we'll do a fucking bundle package for you. You got Rob, you got Zaid, you got Stu, you got David and me. It's 5 of us. Give us $5,000. We'll give you a nice bundle package. If you want Joe and Paul,
I'm gonna undercut that. You just hit me up directly. You don't need to spend 5 G's. You create a market.
I actually got once $500.
yeah. Now, if you want Nick's underwear, that's gonna be $2,000 just for Nick's alone.
Yeah.
It goes by status.
Dude.
Stu's a little more expensive. I'm not pro yet, so mine is only $50. And then
You need to,
so
you need to
you gotta-
invite Derek.
yeah, Joe, Mr. USA, his is a little 500. So we got a whole we got a whole price list. I'm gonna send you the price list when we're done.
Yeah.
But if you wait till USA's, my price is gonna go up.
Oh, you don't want to sleep on this deal, man. It's gonna be sold out quick.
Yeah, you don't want to mess up the Fit Nation bundle package coming soon.
Like what has done this? This package from Arnold. We're going to do with the laundry.
Yeah, but basically what's going on. All right. Does any of you use waist trainers in prep?
I do.
Oh,
Yeah, every single day before cardio. It's not to shrink your waist; it's to help with abdominal control. That's it.
And you feel like it's working?
Yeah, because I like when I'm sitting down, when I'm walking or whatever, my stomach is sucked in, not hanging out by it becomes second nature, almost.
Okay.
Yeah,
How about
3 hours a day.
anybody?
3 hours a day. Yeah.
Damn.
I used to wear one a lot, man. I used to wear one all night.
Damn.
Back in the day. Yeah. So uncomfortable, man. Yeah. I don't even know if it did anything, to be honest. I had a tight waist that year. But I mean, is it gonna do more than like vacuums and like training your abs? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna hurt, but
I heard in Kuwait that they were doing those, those like women in the ballet.
Corsets.
Yeah, the corsets. And this Winkler used to wear it.
Well, that corsets do work, but I don't think it works for the right reasons. I think it's kind of fucked up. It's kind of smushing your body together,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that you can actually drop something.
Oh, like what?
That some ballerinas, actually dropped some organs.
Oh, damn.
Whoa.
don't need
after wearing the corset to,
What do you mean
Damn.
drop them?
Drop like shit
just
them out?
lost it through the
Appendix burst? Like burst appendix type shit? What are you talking about?
No, like just shed their, for example.
Like liver just came out the ass?
just
Yeah, some organs just shut out.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Oh,
Once you start shedding blood, it's over. Just take
Whatever
the
it
corset
takes.
off.
shit organs, not blood.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there was some about the ballerinas, those Russians.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. lose your whole kidney. That's crazy.
Or spleen or something.
How about beef soup? You kind of like beef soup, dude. Do you like corsets, waist
No.
trainers?
I've never done any of that.
Do you wear your belt really tight?
I don't wear a belt. I don't do vacuums. I barely train my abs. I should probably do that more, honestly. I'm just lazy.
There you have it. Beef soup himself. Okay.
I think wearing belts is like, in order to shrink your waist, is kind of silly. Like a lot of people are talking about wearing a belt tight. Like it's kind of the same idea. I think it's kind of silly.
It's just a fashion
90s,
item.
baby.
Yeah.
90s, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, the '90s guy though did it right. They love it.
I mean, I thought it was a cool look. You know, to be honest, I wish I
Yes.
could pull it off, but I cannot wear a fucking belt.
Yeah, but actually, when you wear your belt, your core muscles are being not engaged, so
Exactly.
you're actually losing. That's the only thing how they got their waist so tight was because of as Stu is doing. They were eating fish and nothing else.
Yeah.
The
Them
way
to it.
the way I look at it, like when people say things like that, right? Because they generalize to prove their point. How come Sean Ray and Flex Wheeler had a small waist? Yeah, but you're leaving out guys who had big waists. Like what's that guy we was talking about on the last episode? He was
Pierre
really big.
Fuchs.
Okay, yeah, like John Pierre Fuchs. You know, so it's like there were people with big waists. They just weren't the guys winning, right? But they were all wearing the belts. It just so happened the guy, like, go figure, the guys with the small waist won a lot of shows. Yeah, because they had a small waist. But I don't think they had a small waist because of what they did. I think they were placing well because they had a small waist, right? If that makes sense. They happen
And
to be
look
the
how
type
much
guys.
smaller they were as well.
Huh?
Look how much Ray, for example, was like what 195, something like this.
Yeah.
If Sean Ray wanted to be competitive today, he would probably be 225. And would he look better? Maybe, but his waist wouldn't look like it looked back in the day. So there is going to be a difference, right?
I don't think that he would be able to be at 225 as we spoke.
Well, he also never had an off season. Sean Ray used to fuck off in off season, so he never really tried to get bigger. You know, I think genetically, I think he has crazy genetics. I think he could pull it off if he did what it took. Is he willing to do what it takes? Maybe, I don't know. You know,
I don't think he ever stepped on stage over 220. The heaviest he was 215.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
he
Beatty said that if he would
Now.
have competed this year.
if he were,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Do you think Serferosi is lying about his doses? Claims 200 milligrams testosterone every 5 days. I think he's telling the truth, but people think it's a lie.
He's a genetic freak.
I mean, he doesn't even have to be a genetic freak. I mean, he was twice the size, and now he's not as big. Like, he lost muscle. He didn't get. If this was his peak, that's one thing, but he still lost a bunch of muscle. So, I don't get the correlation. If all of us went on TRT, we lose a little bit of muscle, we're still way bigger than everybody else. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if he wasn't a genetic freak, the fact that he was, I don't know, 240 lean, and now he's, I don't know, 200 lean. It's like, I don't understand why you would think he would be taking the same shit he was taking back then. It wouldn't
Dave,
make
how
sense.
often do you do your shots?
Who?
Zayd.
Twice a week.
So 100 twice a week, yeah?
Yeah, well, now it's 300.
Ooh.
Well, okay.
Yeah, but
Well,
actually, when you were on 200, you would shoot twice 100, yeah?
Huh?
When you were on the 200 weekly, you would shoot 100 twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Seth is taking more than Zayd used to.
exactly my point. So, Zayd is actually growing, but take that aside. Like, I don't even think you have to be a genetic freak to have a good amount of muscle and be lean on TRT. I mean,
I always wonder why people even care. Like, why does it matter who's taking what or who's lying about what? Like, it has no relevance to anybody.
Not
Like,
really.
why does it even matter if he would, like, even if he was lying? Maybe he's lying just to say, let's just hypothetically, let's say he takes 1,000, he says he takes 500, just because he doesn't want everyone else to copy him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who cares?
He also had kidney issues, so he's not doing it to brag. He's doing it out of necessity for his health.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was saying actually that he was open about it's the same thing with Kanevsky. He was saying like he was taking like a gram of Tren or 200 or something of Anadrol, and suddenly when he's way smaller, he doesn't really train as a bodybuilder because he has just done this 40 days for the veterans and so on. He's still big. He was training for, I don't know, 30 years.
Mhm.
it's not that hard to keep your size, and he's not
It's not
that
that
he's
hard.
not that tall. He's like what, 5 foot 5'6".
Yeah, it's not that hard. Sometimes I see like on Kenny KO's page, I'll see some of these videos where he's interviewing a guy who looks like to me like a fucking basketball player. And then they'll in the comments, everybody be like, he's lying, he's on gear. And I'm like, bro, I was bigger than that in middle school. What the fuck are we talking about here? Like, I like
Yeah,
I think
the
that
bar.
nowadays we have such a low standards about the physiques that we think that everyone abuses this shit so much.
yeah. What you gonna say, Stu?
Yeah, he took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, the bar is so fucking low, especially
Yeah.
amongst like teenagers and young people. They think everybody is on a bunch of shit. Like, perfectly naturally achievable looking physiques. If you go to the comments section, if the video says anything about the guy being natural, like it'll just be like, you're on drugs, you're on drugs, you're on drugs. Like, dude, this is not that big.
Yeah.
Sub
Really
200-pound guys, my kind of height. It's not nothing
Kinda
crazy,
crazy.
and
But
Wasn't
remember,
Joe like wasn't Joe like natural till 200 pounds, something like this?
bigger than
Well,
that, I think.
Joe was like 230, bro. Joe was like
Yeah,
230.
exactly. And he was natural.
But to be honest, he didn't look that impressive at 230.
Yeah, but
Like
nowadays people would be like, yeah, you were on the gram of Tren.
they did, yeah.
because they
Everybody
got
said that.
buddies. They got buddies who do take drugs and look like dog shit because they don't do anything else right, or they were just, they're like the runts of the litter, genetic
Yeah.
dead ends, and they wonder why they don't look good. Like, dude, you shouldn't be bodybuilding. Go play golf.
Yeah. They're also they're not even trying, bro. They're not, because imagine being 18 and your goal physique, your dream fucking body is to look like some random TikToker who's 170 pounds.
Yeah.
But then you feel like, okay, I'm 160. I have to take Tren to be lean at 170. It's like, what? So like that's their goalpost. In order for me to look like fit guy Phil, I have to take 500 Tren. It's like, maybe if you actually ate a couple of chicken breasts and did like some form of training split, you would be bigger than fit guy Phil. But you've
The
never
way I
even
see it
tried.
with natties, the way I see it is you can be big, you can be a big natty, or you could be a shredded natty, but you're not going to be
Boom.
big and shredded. That's going to take some enhancement probably, unless you're a fucking genetic freak.
Exactly.
But
Well,
the bar for what big is super low.
it's
now.
low,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
low, very
Like,
low.
I think it's just a side effect of like the TikTok generation, where like,
Yeah.
these kids, you see them in the gym in groups of like 3, 4, 5 guys. They're not training, man. They're fucking gossiping like middle school girls. They're on their phones, like, and I sound like an old head right now, but like this is like next level pussy shit. Like it's mind boggling. Why don't you
Yeah.
just
And
do
then
this?
they will come with the argument, I don't want to be this big.
Yeah, and but then
Yeah.
they'll get in your comment section and be like, you're on a bunch of drugs and you're gonna die at 30. Like,
Yeah.
what?
The
You
other
don't
thing,
I'm
even
32,
do
so I don't
anything.
care.
You
they don't
have
even want to be
nothing
that
do.
shredded either. It's like natural guys that come to me, like teenagers and young 20-year-olds, they want to be big and shredded. I'm like, you're gonna be big and fluffy because you're natural, or you're gonna be fucking shredded but small. I'm like, pick one. Or if you want to be big and shredded and be a pro, you're gonna at some point take some gear.
Yeah.
I think it's what people aren't doing anymore is they're not getting shredded. They don't want to do they want to get bigger, so they don't want to do cardio, and they want to take drugs to help them burn fat. But all you got to do is just diet hard and do a lot of cardio and weight train. Especially when you're young, you can get away with a lot more. I remember doing a lot of cardio, double training sessions per day. Like I just did whatever I was told because I didn't know any better. And it was probably like super insane and way too much, but I was shredded as a natural, but I was only 175 pounds. You know what I mean? So it's all relative, but
Dude,
Okay,
these guys nowadays are just like they're so fucking pathetic. I'm sorry, like the 17 to 22 demographic in the gym is just, with some obvious exceptions. There's always going to be kids who want to get big, and be bodybuilders, like legit bodybuilders or legit powerlifters, but like they're all so cringy, man. They all suck.
It's
I
bad.
They just
mean,
want to be lean and aesthetic, but that does not take gear. That's what I keep saying. You know, if you look at, because I was literally talking to this kid in the store today, and he's like, "Hey man, like, you know who this guy is?" And he's like a local guy here, like definitely obviously natural because he's probably like $175, but he's shredded, you know, like four weeks out, whatever. And he's like, is this steroids? I'm like, no, dude, he's just lean. But I've seen this guy in real life. He's small as fuck, you know, like natural guys don't look big in clothes. They take them off,
No.
they could be lean, you know, but
God,
these guys
God
have
forbid.
expectations that they actually truly believe that in order to be lean like that, even at 175 pounds, they have to take something. It's crazy to me.
God forbid you could actually, you know, if Bruce Lee was alive today, everybody would say Bruce Lee's on steroids because he has abs.
yep.
You know what I'm
Good
saying?
point. Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, oh, Bruce Lee got to be on. Look how fast he is. Look how
Yeah.
shredded he is. He got to be on. Yeah, but he's a $140. Like,
Yeah,
what
he's
are
a
we talking
buck
about?
40. Exactly.
Joe Rogan made it perfect. Made a perfect statement that being a savage nowadays takes this much because there are so many people who just don't want to do a thing that to be beyond the average you just have to be this much better. And about
Exactly.
comments, what Stu said, the thing is that they will come to your comments and they will be like, you won't live as long till you're 30 or something like this. And I always answer that I'm 32, so I already outlived I already outlived their expectations. And
That's
second
hilarious.
comment will be, you look like you're 50. So what the fuck?
Yeah.
Make up your mind. Either I look like I'm 50 or I'm going to die as young as 30.
You look
Big
like you're
one.
in your 20s, honestly.
Yeah, he looks young to me.
I
Well,
got
Yeah.
this, like, I got a face that really looks rough, especially when I'm dieted down. It looks unhealthy. So I get a lot of that shit, but it's fine.
But looking at you right now, you kind of look like a baby in some ways. Like you kind of like a kid. You know, like I'm looking
I
at
think-
you right now. I'm like,
When I've got hair, like more hair, I look younger, I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
At least I look less threatening. Like, because when I got the short haircut, like I got a fucking gnarly looking skull. It's not very approachable.
Well, but what do you compare? Okay, if you take a 25-year-old, most 25-year-olds are 180 pounds. So they've never seen a 25-year-old who's 300 pounds. So what would that look like? It's gonna look like you. That's what it's gonna look like. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
But I mean, just like my facial features, like I have a
Okay.
big jaw, I have high cheekbones, I have a big nose, all of the shit that kind of happens when you take drugs for extended periods of time.
Exactly.
I had that before any of that. Like if you look at my dad, he's got all the same facial features, and it just gets amped up even more. And so, people who don't know who I am look at me and they're like, "Oh, he looks like he's aged 10 years." And I haven't aged 10 years in the last 3. Like I've aged 3 years, but I already looked older because of my face.
Yeah.
So
But about the natural thing, one of my friends is a natural pro, right? He won like a natural qualifier to turn pro in IFBB. So it's not like he won the
for the Ben
the
Weeder show.
I want to say so. I think so.
Okay.
I think so. And I've known him for quite some time since I've been in LA. This is what 6 years, at least 6 years. And I've seen how slow his progression was. He competes every 2 years, and he's been adding like 4 pounds of tissue a year. You know,
That's maximum.
yeah. Robin said, yeah, you can be only so big and straight at the same time, right? You got to pick one. But I would add in a third thing: strength. You can't be big, shredded, and strong. But that's all relative, right? How big are we talking? I don't think he's big. I think he looks like an average natural gym goer. When he's shredded, even in the gym, in a t-shirt, he still looks natural. When you're shredded and filled out with tan on under those lights and you have nice round muscle bellies, now your physique comes alive. But he's still like 210 pounds at 5'11". Okay. I would be lean at like 200 pounds when I was 17, 18. And he's my age. So you think if I train for 10 more years, I couldn't figure out a way to be 210 shredded. Yeah, of course I could. But most of us who go this hard, we don't want to see our natural limit. I don't give a fuck about my natural limit. But let's say if we had the same discipline and we applied it for 10 years without drugs, of course we would be in the 200s, even 220s maybe on stage, possibly. I can't say for sure, but I would think so. On gear with what this guy does, he would be a 300 pounder, no problem. But he chose to be a 200 pounder. That's his choice. That's what he wants to do. There's nothing unnatural, but he doesn't have crazy traps, no shoulder cap, no big forearms, just a regular natural physique, shredded with decent size, not even crazy size. But people
210 on stage at 5'11" is
looks
pretty good, dude. That
does look
not
good.
bad at all. Yeah, that's a good physique.
That means he could do either pro. Now, classic, what would that be? He will be able to,
He'd be under the weight cap, yeah.
but obviously he couldn't compete against those guys because it's a different look, right?
No, their limit is 235.
At 5'11".
Well,
5'11", yeah.
I don't think it's that heavy. It
Yeah,
might be.
it
I
is
wouldn't know.
because when I wanted to try the classic, it was 102 kilos. So
Okay.
and I'm amateur, so it's 220, 230.
Okay. Well, let's say even if the weight was at 215, he can't compete against those guys because they have a different level of fullness and graininess, and it's different. So you have to be able to use your eye and say, like, I think we can tell who's natural. But the truth is that we don't give a fuck. I don't care if he is or not. I just believe him because I don't think he's that impressive. I think he's in great shape. That's about it. But anybody could get in great shape, if you just, So
Yeah.
That's my point too. You don't need to have anything. You don't need to have any enhancement to get actually shredded. You can just get shredded.
No.
shit. I actually thought it was easier to get in shape when I was natural. I would lose weight a lot easier because I didn't.
Yeah,
I wasn't holding a bunch of water.
you don't have this much of inflammation.
Mhm.
You don't have to worry about estradiol and so on.
You also know you don't even have to worry about being big either. You're just like, okay, well, I know I'm going to be small, so it's pretty easy to get shredded.
Exactly.
So you're like, yep, 2 hours of cardio. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go left with this question. Real left. Do you guys find it hard to bust a nut on Tren or Deca?
Nope.
On Deca, yes. On Tren, no.
Anybody else want to give their take?
No,
No.
it's not any damn business. Jesus Christ, you guys are way too comfortable on here.
How about David?
I never have the problem.
Really?
Yeah. I just don't take the NPP because it sometimes makes me anxious.
Yeah, Deca. I can't take Deca at all. At all. I would never take Deca. It was just yeah. Maybe it's too. Maybe I shouldn't get too detailed on that. but yeah, no. Tren. I feel like I last longer than I would like to on Tren.
Yeah,
that shouldn't be a bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the truth. You can last longer on track.
Not that you would think that wouldn't be a bad thing, but it's not really a good thing. Like nobody's trying to have sex for that long. I know people act like, yeah, I'm gonna go all night. And
unless you're trying to send a message, right, Beatty?
I send that message. Baby.
Yeah, normally it's like 4 minutes, then it's like 7.
Yeah, it's like how long? I mean, most of it, if you're into foreplay, take a little longer. But bro, let's be real. Like nobody's trying to have sex for an hour. That's way too long for sex. Like that sounds cool when you're talking with your friends, but nobody's trying to have sex for an hour. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and like it's kind of unrelated.
If your girl has to ask you if you're okay, like, you good? Is it good? Then it's like been a little too long. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So if you if she's giving you, she's gonna give you hints. Like, hey,
Yeah.
Come on, do it for me. Come on, for me, one time.
Or
you start
like
hearing
when
that.
she's
Wrap
like,
it up.
when she's like that.
There's like a
Oh,
certain
man.
kind of dude who brags about how long he fucks for, not the
Yeah.
kind of guy you really want to hang out with. Like,
Nah,
sure, bro,
because he's probably
2
bragging
hours,
about
good for you.
everything. Yeah.
Well,
Why don't you shut it then?
I would be more impressed if you told me you got the job done for both of you in 10 minutes. If you can make her finish in 5 minutes, I'll be way more impressed than you
Yeah.
taking an hour to make her
You got
finish.
places to go, you know.
That's the
shit
goal,
to do.
baby. You know, we got
Yeah,
that
things
timer
to
on.
do,
We'll beat it every
places to
time.
go. Exactly. I don't have time. I have meals to eat, and
Yeah.
Also, I kind of got news for you. Like when guys say, "Yo, I made her calm" and stuff like that. I don't think we make anybody do anything. They make themselves. They make themselves do that. Like if we're being completely honest, like it's like their own mind and body thing. They're doing it themselves. We're just helping. You know, I guess we could say the same thing. I mean, we're kind of making we can control how fast or slow we. You know, it's the same. It's all
Yeah,
personal.
hopefully.
It's not.
Let's be real. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're just hoping that we do something right, and they'll usually
Boom.
tell us if we're fucking it up. You know?
I mean, enthusiasm goes a long way. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
have fun.
so we are just a device.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, but like, what's your girlfriend like? I'm joking.
Good point, though. Good point. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we're just having fun and hoping for the best. But you don't actually know what you're doing. You're just reading the other person and seeing what they, how their night is going. But
The
just
worst
taking hints.
part is there are two ways, when you finish actually, and when you ask her, not if she asks you if it was good, but if you ask her and she's like, yeah, it was okay.
Don't even ask. Don't even
Yeah.
ask.
Mind your own
I
fucking
really
business
don't
and go.
care, actually.
No, but once you start getting rushed, finish up, homie, finish up. All right. You don't want to get to that point. All right. That was left. All right, one more. We've been at almost 3 hours.
For
Let me try to get a good one.
Fuck you guys. I'm the only one who answered.
Oh,
No, everyone answered.
I said
Deca,
no.
yeah. Deca completely fucks me up. I don't have no but then with Tren, yeah, it makes me
It's
go a
pretty
little longer.
straightforward. With Deca, you get Deca dick. With Tren, you get Tren dick. Like, what else you want to know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
Self-explanatory.
weird thing is, when you get the Deca dick, you actually can't get hard. When you get Tren dick, and even though those are both nandrons, you get too hard.
Yeah, it numbs it out a bit.
Yeah. Well,
That's
like
true.
Deca Dick, I'll get hard, but then it's not reliable. You know what I'm saying? It's not reliable. At any moment, it could just go. Like it could go at any second. You don't want those problems. I would rather. Nah, I guess either way you put it is bad, but you don't want unreliable. That's not good. You don't want that.
Yeah. It's always better to be too hard than too soft, right, baby?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with Deca, I could take all the Cabergoline I want. I could take Cialis. I'm not sending up no message with Deca. It's not happening.
No. You take Deca if you want her to break up with you.
exactly.
Oh man, save yourself the embarrassment. Just stay away from Deca.
Yeah.
All right, I started
That's
prep.
good. She'll get the hint. If you take Deca for a while, if you don't like your girl, she'll get the hint. If you know what I'm saying, like she'll just see herself out after a while.
Where is my bag?
She's trying to get you riled up, and you just like, No. All right.
That's funny.
Have PEDs? Have PEDs made you not want your partner anymore? Holy shit! What type of shit is that?
Tren, Metro, Halo. No, not Tren. Halo and Metro though. Yeah.
I mean, I still want you. I'm just not that affectionate. It might look like I don't want you. I'll say that, but I do want you. I don't act like it. Right?
You know what I think it is? It's usually a combination of when you're hungry, then you're more, for some weird reason, like attracted to food than you are to sex at a certain point when you're lean enough. And then I think combined with the like kind of irritability, kind of like the background, like just irritability combined with all the other things you have to do, it just takes away your like priority of it, I believe. You know?
I'm just imagining Robin like taking his chicken breast to the room and locking the door, putting some music on, you know, like putting some R&B on, and his girl is trying to listen, like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
You got his chicken breast, yeah, you know.
Well, she's not home
But-
tonight, so I got the whole place to myself, you know?
Just Robin and tilapia.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What was the question? Yeah, no, I think I behave like I don't want my partner, but I mean, you do want your partner.
There's just not a lot of emotions, period, at the end of a prep, you know?
Yeah,
Just how
like
it
Stu,
is.
like Stu in this episode. I don't see a lot of emotion in his face.
The fuck you want from me, bro?
Remember, always
Oh,
smile.
If you want me to get emotional, say something to piss me off. That gets me going.
No, you don't got to smile, Stu.
What up, yet?
Come on, David. We almost
Played
made it
out.
through the episode.
It's played out.
No, Stu, you don't got to smile for us. That don't matter. That don't
That
matter.
don't matter.
That don't matter.
Okay. All right. Last one for real this time. That wasn't a real question. I just have to read that one. Okay. Who's winning the foot race? Nah.
Not me.
Foot race?
Yeah.
Got Vito.
Yeah. You see his feet?
Got those springy toes.
First show. What was your hardest prep ever? Was it your first show?
Mine is, yeah, for sure.
I guess what you mean by hard.
Oh, shit.
Mentally hard, my first show for sure. The rebound on my first show was the hardest.
Yeah.
Which prep was your hardest prep, Stu?
21 easily. That's the first year I worked with Blue, and yeah, he just pushed me way harder than I ever been pushed before for like longer without any breaks, and it ended up being probably too much, but like it taught me a lot about myself, and pretty much every prep since then has been way smoother and easier, which is good. But yeah, that was a fucking doozy of years, 20 weeks straight of yeah.
Did you get to the point where you questioned if you should be doing this at all?
Oh yeah. Yeah. When I started ramping up Arimidex, like I got to the point where like I literally like I forgot like what I was doing and why I was doing it. I was like I wasn't myself. It was really bad. I'm pretty sure I got the vid at that point too, like a couple weeks out. I was a mess.
David?
The vid.
I know.
Fuck off. Yeah, that was a shit prep, but everyone says that's been way easier. Except this one. This one might suck a lot. I'm gonna be doing it all fucking year pretty much.
Well, good luck. Good luck with the preps.
Oh, thank you.
Let's go. Let's go, Robin.
I work with Justin Compton. He put me on a really low calorie diet. That was a hard prep because I felt like I couldn't sleep for like a lot of that prep, and I just kept waking up all the time. That was like the hardest thing, and I was training really early, like 6 a.m. I was doing for some reason 6 a.m. And I don't know, man. I don't really think that it was like looking back on it, like I got through it all and it was fine. I could say last prep was hard too. I don't know, man. They're all hard in different ways. Last prep, it was hard to deal with a fucking bicep tear, colitis, but it always feels hard in the moment. And then when it's done, it was like, yeah, that wasn't that bad. But I know in the moment, I was like, this is horrible. Right.
I got a question for y'all. If you're in prep and you feel like a piece of shit and you're questioning if you if you want to be alive, you don't know if you're alive and you're just struggling, you can't go to work anymore. You know, you're putting everything on your credit cards because you're not working. Should you should you communicate this with your coach how bad you feel, or should you just shut the fuck up and just do what he says?
You can communicate them with them, but you shouldn't expect them to go easy on you.
Yeah. Like, you shouldn't be prepping if you're in that state. That's like, even though I've prepped in that state, I would have told my younger self, like, dude, don't do the show. You know what I mean? If you're putting yourself in debt and, like, you know, you don't have like a stable home to live in, for example, like, you're not ready to do a show, right? That's what I would say. You know, you have to communicate these things, but you have to be realistic too. You know, like, a lot of this stuff is very mental. So if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then it's not worth the struggle, right? That's why I feel like those preps weren't that hard for me, because I feel like if I did think about a prep that was hard for me, it was like you guys said, like one where I wasn't mentally feeling like myself, versus like last prep, I felt like I was myself, even though I went through those things. I handled things the way I wanted to. But when I feel like like emotionally, I don't have it in me, that's not a good place to be in a prep. Physically is one thing, mentally is another thing, but when it's like emotionally, like, I'm not feeling good about this experience, that would be the worst for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, like a few years back, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I didn't believe in saying anything to your coach. As far as I was concerned, you sent pictures and you followed the plan. There was zero communication. I didn't believe in saying how I felt because I thought it was irrelevant. I'm like, I know I have a hard time getting in shape. Complaining about it won't change anything, so I'm gonna just do it. Now, knowing Compton as well as I do, I'm like, if I would have voiced to him how I felt, he would have been like, yo, take the day off. Just take the day off. And I probably would have felt a lot better and be able to push harder the next day, you know? Or he could have been like, but I almost didn't want him to like pull back, because in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna get in shape if he pulls back. But the truth is that sometimes you can get in better shape if you have 2 days off and then you can hit the next 4 weeks harder, versus putting yourself in a deeper hole and then now you're not getting the most out of your sessions or cardio. So I think communicating, not complaining, we don't complain, but communicating. Like, I ain't asking for a cheat or anything like that. I'm just like, this is how I'm feeling. If you feel that if that's okay with you, we'll just keep doing the same thing. But you let me know what you want to do with that information, you know?
Yeah. It's funny because actually with Dorian, he'll ask me to give him more feedback, because I'll just send pictures and be like, yeah, I'm good. You know, I just always say I'm good, because I hate being the one to project that I'm like not good, unless it's like, okay, now we have an emergency. But you know, it's a good point, is if you're able to be communicative and transparent with your coach, you just have to ride that line of like, what do I burden my coach with? What do I keep for myself? Because as you know, a fully grown adult and as an athlete, you should be handling most of your business on your own. You don't need to be going to your coach like, hey, coach, like, I couldn't afford rent this week. Like, what should I do? Or I can't afford no, don't, please. You know, but if it's something that I can help you with, or your coach can help you with, then fucking right, you better talk to them about it, you know, because otherwise they don't know how to help you. Right. Yeah. And often if you're struggling with something and you don't know who else to turn to, all you have is your coach and you don't have anyone else you feel like you can trust, then that's a better start than doing nothing, just holding it in. Right.
Yeah.
Something I've noticed just in the last week or two with my clients is that, like, I'm a little more irritated with bullshit from them. Like, before, it was just like, if you just like tell me, like, if they made some mistake that was just, or they complain about something, it was just like, okay, whatever, we'll deal with it. Now I'm just like, what the fuck what? Seriously? It's just because I'm getting a little further into prep now, but like, my patience is just a little thinner, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Hey,
I haven't said anything rude, but like, I mean, it's got me scratching my head a little more. Like,
yeah, I've made mistakes in the past by seeing a response, getting emotional about it, responding right away. Now I look at it, I let it go, I do my day, I come back to it later if I need to, you know, because sometimes it's just like, you didn't mean to respond that way, but you know.
Hey, I want to say I lost 50% of my clientele last prep, man. Literally. I can't help it. Like, I always say how I feel, and generally speaking, that's a good trait to have, but not always. Not if we feel like absolute shit. Then, like Robin said, look at it. Don't say shit, because your emotions are speaking, and come back to it. And you have to know yourself. Know that what you're gonna say is gonna come off way too out of pocket. So phrase it a little bit better. You know,
You need to understand
I
that
told
it's
you-
your job, and actually, if you would be working like for someone else, you wouldn't like tell him like you and so on. So
Yeah.
basically, you have to cut the emotion and just explain it as good as you can without like making yourself. You need to set the boundaries from the beginning. You
Mhm.
can't be too friendly and you can't be just an asshole. So you have to be
Yeah.
somewhere in the middle, because then I realized that most of us coaches take things too much
Personal.
too personal, and we want to save the world. And we can't save the world.
No,
Yeah.
no.
The one thing that fucking got me was, I mean, Beatty, I told you about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was it's like, wow. Like that was so fucking stupid. I didn't even know what to say, you know? Um,
You gotta follow. You have to be able to follow directions, and that upsets me when people don't listen. Imagine coming. I don't want to say the client's name, but I guess he probably will know I'm talking about him, which is fine as well. But imagine if you keep coming second place to your pro card, you miss it by one position, and all you have to do is have a good off season and add a little bit of tissue, and then right after the show, every fucking time you go ghost, you disappear, and I'm like, hey, listen, I don't have to go run after you, but I try to because I want to see you win. Hey, where you at? What you doing? Oh, just taking a break. And then no matter how much times I reach out, they reach back out to me like 12 weeks out. And they're fat. They have made no gains whatsoever, and they want to run it back. And I'm like, we're gonna look exactly the same, and you're gonna get second again. But they just won't do it. So at that point, you got to stop making it personal. Be like, let me put my emotions aside. This is not me. This is not my brother. It's not my son. This is just a person who's paying me for my services. They don't want that fucking pro card then. Fuck it. Go just be second place for the rest of your life.
And that's what it is too. I realize like not everybody wants to be Mr. Olympia. Not everybody wants to win a pro card. Even if they say they do, a lot of people will say they want the pro card. And then when they're faced with what it takes, they're like, I don't really want to do this and this. I'm like, okay, so we're setting a different goal now, right? So I always just keep reminding them, is like, is this the goal you want? Are you sure you want this goal? Right? Because then you have to just keep reminding them of that's what it takes to get to here. If your goal is different, then we can have different boundaries and guidelines. I used to be so hard on my clients because I wasn't listening to them really just saying like, I want balance in my life. I'm like, well, if you want to be a competitor, there's no balance.
They don't care.
Yeah, I mean, they have to come out and say it though. If they say like, this is just too much, I'll respect that. But if they still keep on saying, I want to win, but I won't eat fish, but I won't do the extra cardio, like whatever it is, right? And if they combine that stuff, not willing to do certain things with, but can we take more of this? It's like, dude, you are rubbing me the wrong way. You need to listen,
Yeah. The people that want to win listen the best usually. They'll clarify things, but they won't expect to have anything different necessarily. Because I've had a lot of clients that do want to win, I guess, and they're always testing to see if they can get more out of it. It's like, I don't think that's a good mentality again, because then it's like you going back to now you have to believe that you need something to win. I need to take more drugs. I need to do more cardio. It's like, no, dude, you're on the right track. That's why you hired me. That's a lot of the time is not mind fucking yourself. That's a skill, a bodybuilding skill. If you mind fuck yourself, you're done. Mm-hmm. You gotta be able to control that,
Problem with clients is that once you give them a finger, they are going to have to want the whole hand. That's why you have to set it straight from the beginning. If they want to be a pro, you have to do this, this, and that. If you don't want to be a pro and you want to just progress or something like this, okay, but don't expect me to jump over. And even if they want to be a pro, they shouldn't expect you to, just do the things for them, like send the photos in the good lighting. You shouldn't be there to remind them about it.
Oh my God,
no. Bro, the standard should be the same in terms of like how you execute stuff, but it's like, with a lifestyle client, dude, if you have a cheat meal, that's not a big deal because you're not on prep and you're just living your life. You go on vacation, all that stuff is cool. But when you have someone who wants to go pro and then they also want to have like a lot of vacations, things where they want to fuck off, like you were saying, Beatty, I don't think they want to go pro that badly.
Bro, if at bare minimum you can't send me a check-in at the same day I tell you every week, and similar, I want the same exact lighting. You can't even send me all the poses I want. You can't send me in the same position at the same day. Bro, that shit pisses me off, bro.
That's how you know, right there. How you do anything is how you do everything. You get someone like that, they can't just give you check-ins. Like, dude, you're not doing this.
What changes we gonna make this week? I don't know. You haven't sent me a check-in in 2 weeks. I don't fucking know what's going on with you. I don't know. That shit pisses me off. That's one of the things that I can't deal with it because
You know what I had one time? There was a guy who was sending me check-ins, but he sent me like old photos and he was trying to trick me. And so he tricked me for a while because I'm like, okay, this guy's making no gains. Then I realized like in the background, there was like the exact same thing lining up. I put them side by side. I'm like, bro, come on. You're literally wasting my time lying to me. He's like, and his check-in is like 10 out of 10 to the diet, everything. I'm like,
bro,
couldn't figure it out. I'm like,
what's going on?
Metabolic damage, what's going on with this guy? And then,
bro, the dude had the same boxers with the same cracks in the same position. Bro, come on.
literally,
Man.
bro. Like the way his hair was, like the tea kettle, like the cup, like I was like, oh my God.
I
Bro,
don't know about
crazy.
you guys, but when I send check-ins, like I have multiple colors of posing trunks. I'll go from like black to red to blue, so that if blue is comparing pictures from like Saturday versus Wednesday, he can know like, oh, different colored trunks. He can tell them apart,
I do that too. Not for that reason. I just like wearing the different colors sometimes.
Yeah, that's fun too.
Yeah.
That's fun too.
Yeah. One last thing I'll say about the client thing. I realize also that you cannot communicate the same with your male clients, with your female client as you do with your male clients, because it's different. The way you can talk to another guy is very different from how you can talk to a female. So I definitely learned that.
Yeah, but it's same with the same male. One guy is going to need like you to
Tough
be
love.
really rough with him, and the other guy gonna need a hug and something like this because it's just a different guy.
Yeah.
When a guy
Some
tells
guys
me
are bitches.
100%,
Put it
110%.
bluntly.
When with all due respect, there's different levels. If you're a lifestyle guy, one thing. If you're telling me if we're going for a pro card and I know you have all the tools to get a pro card, and then I don't hear from you, you go ghost on me for 3 weeks, and then you tell me, oh yeah, I got into an argument with my girlfriend. It's been rough. I'm gonna judge you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna judge you because I'm like, bro, you can still send check-ins and eat meals even when you're sad. You know what I'm saying? We're not happy every day. Like there's sad days. So you're telling me that you want to do something that if you cannot eat and work out and send check-ins because you're sad, you can never be a pro bodybuilder because you're going to be sad. You're gonna be upset. You don't have to have a good time. You can just get the bare minimum. Same thing. He's still going to work. Did you tell your boss I can't go to work because I'm sad? You still went to work. So treat this the same. If you can't, I don't want to hear anything about no national.
So funny. I know. Sometimes you wake up, you're sad. You take pictures. You're sad that you don't look good. You go through your whole day sad about these pictures or whatever. You feel like you're in your feels. And the next day you look at them and you're actually like, you know what? I look okay. You pull yourself out of it. That's what you have to do.
I don't get that, man. Like if you're
What people
going
don't
through some
understand
shit,
is
like why would you stop doing the thing that you love the most?
Yeah,
the one thing that you
holding you
have
together.
That's what you have control over, It's like Jesus.
The first thing is, do you love it then? That's the first question. Or do you just pretend to love it? And the second thing is that people think that life is, you are supposed to be happy your whole life. No, happiness, as same as being sad, are parts of life. And for the 70% of the life, you are just being there. You are not happy, you are not sad, you're just a guy, a normal person who is there, yeah?
Yeah. it's okay. Like, okay, like don't get me wrong. I could be my life could be in shambles, right? And I drive to the gym. It's hard for me to get in the car. I'm in the car. Okay, fuck it, let's do it. I drive to the gym. I sit in the car for like 30 minutes. But I'm still gonna go get the workout in. You know, so it's like it's not about doing shit when it's easy. It's about getting shit done when you don't want to. It's like a relationship. It's easy to be happy in a happy couple when everything is going perfect. How do you respond when the relationship is in shambles or shit gets real? Somebody gets hurt. Somebody's in the hospital. That's what's gonna make the relationship last. That's the same for life. You know, if you can only get the job done when shit is all rainbows, that's not gonna cut it. You got to be able to get the job done even when your life's a complete mess. You know.
Yeah. It only gets easier when you do it when it's hard.
Exactly. Yeah. So do the hard shit and don't take Deca because Deca makes you soft.
Deca makes you soft.
You know. I think that's
it.
Huh?
They'll do it. I'm fucking sick of you guys.
Yeah.
They definitely got your daily dose of the Fit Nation podcast. So yo guys, leave your underwears in a separate bag tonight. And we're gonna send out that Fit Nation.
And what is a fairy tale? Like something like Tooth Fairy is going to come and take your underwear? Something like
leave
that.
$1 under your pillow.
And leave $1 under your bed and just your underwear.
Yeah, make sure you
Good
mail
I haven't
those.
changed my yet.
It might be hard to get it from Poland, but go ahead, send that over. I'll put together the bundle. It'll be nice. I'm gonna have pictures and shit and designs and all that, and it's gonna be nice. So $5,000
online,
$5,000. I mean, I might bid it. I might bid it to the highest bidder if it gets to that. But all right, gentlemen,
fired up.
Nice seeing you guys.
Likewise, brother.
Yeah.
Get some sleep, Stu. Get some food, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, try to smile more, guys.
Yeah, try to smile more, man.
Bye.
That don't matter.